Dari, thanks. I'm not sure anybody had this one penciled in preseason as a top 25 matchup, but this is where we stand in Nashville, Tennessee, where the Commodores look to take down their second top 5 opponent ever. Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns are looking for a bounce-back performance. They've got college football's darling, Diego Pavia, on the other side, as both teams trying to run down their dream. It is a beautiful day in Nashville, Tennessee for SEC football, presented by Sonic. And the Vanderbilt Commodores, looking for their second top 5 win of the season. They draw the 6-1 Longhorns, coming off of a home loss against Georgia. There may not be another team in college football with the momentum that Vandy has coming into this one tonight, fresh off of a couple of wins in the SEC, including Alabama and on the road at Kentucky, then out of league last week against Ball State. They are fired up. Their head coach, Clark Lee, has got them ready to go today.
They know who you are. And today, if we do what we're supposed to do, the world finds out too. You've worked so hard for 4 hours of celebration together, and you get to be the Warriors on that field, man. Call our plays, run our schemes, have a lot of fun on that field, but do it together, because in the end, that's what makes Vanderbilt football strong. Let's show some love and respect.
And with that, we welcome you to the west end of Nashville. Tom Hart, Cole Kublik, Alyssa Lang is down on the sideline, and this Vanderbilt program has something maybe they've never had before, at least in the amounts they do now. That's hope, and the hope comes in the form of Diego Pavia, who's turned into college football's darling.
Well, he's the straw that stirs this Vanderbilt drink, Tom. He is a motivator. He is intense. He is a character, but don't let that mislead you. He is a heck of a ball player. He knows how to manage this scheme, run this system, been in this offense for a long time. He is what will give Vanderbilt a shot at the Texas Longhorns today.
There's plenty on the line for both of these programs. They're each eyeing a college football playoff spot. And Alyssa, for Texas, that means bouncing back after that tough loss Saturday night.
That's right, Tom. I talked to Texas star tight end Gunnar Helm earlier this week about the mentality of this team. He said it was important to let the loss sting, but also know that the culture that they have built puts them in the position where they can bounce back. Sark told us that before he even got into the locker room after the loss to Georgia last week, the leaders were already going around picking everybody up, and the mood was not somber, it was motivated. They do Culture Friday every single week at Texas. Sark gives them a prompt. This week, it was how do you handle adversity in real life? He said the response, tremendous, coupled with the questions coming off of that Georgia loss about whether or not Texas is prepared for the physicality of an SEC schedule. He said this is a team coming in today feeling like they have something to prove.
No doubt they do. And listen, a loss to Georgia is neither something to be ashamed of, nor is it eliminating in the college football playoff picture. However, Texas needs to look different and look better. What's number one on your priority list if you're Texas?
Protect your quarterback or quarterbacks. We don't think it'll be 2 today. Sark made it clear Quinn Ewers the guy moving forward, but you have to give him time to operate inside this offense. Yes, there is quick ball distribution, but Texas has the athleticism and the speed to challenge you down the field. Did not have time to do that against the Georgia Bulldogs a week ago. The offensive line, tight ends, running backs, going to have to get on the same page to find that protection today.
Fantastic crowd on hand today here in Nashville. First trip for Texas since the 1920s. And the difference in these programs is stark. Texas has an AP top 5 team, 43-5. Vanderbilt has 1 win in their history against an AP top 5 team that came against #1 Alabama right here on this field earlier this year. Plenty of burnt orange has made its way to Nashville. They're hoping to see a bounce back win for their Longhorns, and the Vandy fans want to keep this magical train rolling. Brock Taylor will put it in the air. For the Longhorns, Matthew Golden is back to receive. Probably a long week in Austin getting ready for this one after the disappointment in front of the largest crowd in Texas football history for a home game. And now they come in to play in front of the smallest crowd they played in front of since 1995. Rain has moved out of the area. The sun has peeked through the clouds, and we are underway in Music City. Golden takes it 4 yards deep. Good block on the edge. Can't shed the first, but a flag comes flying in from the side judge.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 24. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down, Texas.
Our referee is Daniel Gocho tonight. Starting quarterback for Texas is Quinn Ewers. Steve Sarkisian told us, I just had to give him a break late in that first half against Oklahoma. 18 straight games with a passing touchdown for Ewers, who's the #5 prospect in this summer's draft. But Travion Wisner is his running back. And the Longhorns keep it on the ground on first down. And a 4-yard run. Brandon Fontenette, who was an early hero in that Bama game with a pick 6, in on the stop for Vandy.
Don't be surprised if you see Texas, Steve Sarkisian lean on this run game early, Tom, specifically between the tackles. Sark told me on the field before the game, we need to get physical again. We need to show this league just how physical a football team we can beat.
So rebuilt Texas offensive line from the offseason. Jake Majors, the senior from Prosper, Texas, anchors it at the center spot. Swing out to the flat and nearly room. A shoestring tackle by Ricky Wright kept Wisner from breaking that one down the sideline. The Sark's team is without a couple of key pieces, one each on either side of the ball. Isaiah Bond, one of the top receivers in the league, is out. Andrew Makubu, the safety, is also out today. Third down, Texas. Longhorns offense operating in front of that sliver of Vandy fans, the student section, the loudest Vanderbilt section in here in their home stadium. And a check at the line with Majors.
You go to pistol, try to even out your run options here.
Nice little gap for Wisner. And that is right at the line to gain. Miles Capers with the stop for Vanderbilt, and that'll be a Texas first down. So getting back to the physical run game, what does that feel like as an offensive lineman when you know they're calling your number?
Right, you love the fact that you're able to move some people around a little bit. That's going to give you options in play action, maybe some bootlegs, and keep that pass rush down a little bit too. That neutralizes the pass rush more than anything.
Vandy has not done a great job getting after the quarterback this year. Wisner trying to stretch this one out. Great vision and cutback. Langston Patterson back healthy. Has missed the last couple of games with an ankle injury for Vandy, and on the tackle for the Commodores.
Wisner's been great for this offense, Tom. Such a good cutback runner. He can kind of stop and then get north and south. Sark told me before the game they've had high hope for him even in fall camp when he seems like he was going to be buried on the depth chart.
52 yards against Georgia last week. That pass is tipped, and it's intercepted. Taken away by Vanderbilt's Martel Height. Patterson knocked it in the air, and Vanderbilt's got early momentum on the west end.
Turnover guitar for the Commodores as Langston Patterson, team's leading tackler a season ago, is going to get the deflection that'll lead to another early Vanderbilt turnover. Bah! Got it right there. Excellent job with the awareness of the pass coming out. Get the hand up. allow your defensive teammates to steal one from the Longhorns.
This is where Diego Pavia and his Vandy offense shines. A short field after the takeaway. They're one of the best in the country in turnover margin and turning it into points. Pavia hands it off, and Cedric Alexander bursts through for a gain of 9 on first down. Pavia is one of the best rushers in the SEC. He's 8th in the league in rushing yards per game. He's 9th in passing yards per game. All for a guy that was unrecruited coming out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, went the JUCO route before starting for New Mexico State. And his quarterback rating is the best of any SEC quarterback in conference play.
You couldn't wait to ask him about his mindset after a turnover also.
I mean, he is all gas, no brakes, and just about everything in life, but you give him momentum with a defensive takeaway, and they're looking to cash in. First down run for Alexander. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Vandy, working with the short field. Here's how they stack up. Plus 41 points off turnover margin. That is best in the SEC, top 15 in the country. And the bottom line, Cole, is on many nights in SEC play, there will be better athletes on the other side of the field from Vanderbilt. They have to take advantage of these opportunities.
There's no doubt. Diego told us yesterday, we want to get the ball in the end zone. We're going to take shots when we do get those turnovers.
Number 9, Eli Stowers, has been his go-to guy, the tight end. He's split out to the top of the formation, and they go with a jet sweep and A.J. Newberry. Newberry picks up a few. That will leave 2nd and 6.
Well, Newberry on those jet sweeps neutralizes so much. He forces the linebackers to play things over the top, also forces those defensive ends to play things out a little bit wider so they can't squeeze down when Diego Pavia does want to keep the football and then try to squeeze north and south.
Newberry gets a breather. A couple of tight ends in this formation.
I'd locate number 9 right here, Tom, if I was the Texas defense.
The wing on the right side next to the other tight end, Cameron Johnson. And here he comes. They go straight ahead. No, the option pitch. Stowers gets taken down in the backfield. Beautifully played by Jelani McDonald.
Pete Kwiatkowski, the Texas defensive coordinator, asked him on the field before the game, what do you do with number 9, Eli Stowers? Do you just identify him? Do you put somebody on him? He said, we just have to be aware of his presence when he's on the field, where he's located, what is possible with where he's aligned. Just understand what he's capable of. An excellent job reading it by Jelani McDonald on that play.
Third downs will be key for Vanderbilt. They're 8th in the country in third down conversion. 3rd and 8. Inverted wishbone look for this run first Vandy offense. Pavia pressured, trying to scramble and finds the edge. He scrambles for the first down, and he hit the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Diego Pavia and Vandy on an 18-yard QB scramble.
Whew, it looked like that cleat may have stayed in bounds. This will be a great shot from the pylon, Cam.
Got him in.
Touchdown.
No, Grandma's happy with that one. Vandy fans happy with that one. And take a nice long look at it upstairs. And for Pavia, that would be his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. He likes to emulate Johnny Manziel. It's why Clark Lee's quarterback wears number 2. And every pregame hype playlist for Diego Pavia features Johnny Football.
And
himself. He's like, yeah, I got my own highlights on there now too. Why wouldn't he? Brock Taylor for the point after a 31-yard drive that took just less than 3 minutes off the clock. Taylor punches it through. Vandy takes advantage of the takeaway, and Diego Pavia stirs the drink early.
Contain critical when defending Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. He makes the Longhorns pay early, and that quick start that the Doors needed looks like it's underway in Nashville.
Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring
If a goalpost could be nervous, that one should be. His buddy got dumped in the river a month ago, and they can't afford to use or lose another pair of goalposts here. But the way this Vandy defense has been playing lately against big opponents, they're in danger again.
Tip ball, Langston Patterson. Vanderbilt gets an early turnover, the exact start that Clarkley said they needed by Martel Heighton, and Diego Pavia around in for the score.
And Quinn Ewers now has 3 touchdowns through the air and 3 interceptions since coming back from his month-long injury break. It's the 4th consecutive game played by Ewers where he's thrown an interception. The longest streak for a Texas quarterback since Sam Ehlinger during the COVID season. Brock Taylor puts it in the air. Second time Matthew Golden brought the last one out. That was ill-advised. And he'll let that one drop. Let's talk about this week's secret recipe, brought to you by Bush's Grill and Beans.
Last week, protection issues for the Texas offense. They relied heavily on slide protection, so they'll gap it to the left. And you look at the numbers that you have, 6 blockers against 4 rushers. Because of the simulated pressures and different looks that Georgia gave them, still unable to pick it up with an unblocked rusher that got at Quinn Ewers. Then Arch Manning in the game. 5 on 3. You get beat with slide protection inside again. Arch tries to outrun Jalen Walker. Not going to happen. That Georgia defense had the Texas protection off base because of the different looks that they gave them. Have to get on track today.
6 sacks all season going into the Georgia game. Texas quarterback sacked 7 times by the Bulldogs. Play clock at 1. They get it off. Ewers swings it out and blown up at the point of contact by Randon Fontenette. That is a play that Steve Sarkisian talked to us about last night. He said we got to get blockers on those defensive backs right off the bat.
Well, it's an extension of the run game. Just a toss sweep to the back out of the backfield. Well played by the Vandy defense.
Some rough first quarters for this Texas team. Ewers finds his man. That's Gunnar Helm. Lowers his shoulder and dives forward. They say he stepped out before the dive. That'll leave 3rd and 2.
Well, Tom, I call these plays detachments, and Gunnar Helm one right there. He was detached to the core. He comes out, catches a pass, running backs out of the backfield like the previous play. Steve Sarkisian does an excellent job of stealing eyes and stealing yards with some of those plays. Georgia played them extremely well a week ago. Vanderbilt off to a pretty good start here today, even though Gunnar Helm picks up good yardage.
This is 3rd and 2. Ewers swings it out to Wisner. First man misses, second man misses, and he takes it past midfield. Fantastic catch and run by Wisner. But last week against Georgia, 7 sacks, 4 turnovers, and just over a yard per rush led to the largest margin of defeat since November of 21 for Texas.
The biggest problem, Tom, as we saw, Georgia was rushing 3 and 4, maybe 5. They were dedicating 8, 9 guys to rushing the passer, and they were still getting home.
They're really leaning on Wisner. Goes off tackle and cuts it back before getting blasted. Picks up 3 on first down. We're talking, going back a couple plays on that big hit on those detachments you talked about. And Sark was telling us, he goes, listen, I love what Shanahan does, Mike McDaniel. He adopt route concepts from them with a lead blocker, and it serves as a check down, which to me seems that's pretty simple, and it should be easy. And that's a security blanket for Quinn Ewers. If Vandy can blow that up, that might make things more challenging for Ewers.
There's no doubt. It's an extension of the run game. Like I said, stealing yards a lot of time.
Here's another one of those plays. He's swinging out, and Moore slips free. Worked that time like a charm. And he picks up a Texas first down on a gain of 32.
Well, Steve Sarkisian told us the prerequisite to playing wide receiver in this system is blocking. Bottom of your screen right there, going to get a good one. And the wide receiver screen's able to bust ahead for big yards. DeAndre Moore, the alpha in that wide receiver room. Hit pointer earlier this year. Looks like he's getting back close to 100%.
Jaden Blue in the game at running back for Texas now. Ewers pumps to the right. Sticks with Blue after looking downfield, and he gets a good block from DeAndre Moore. Talking with the Vanderbilt defensive staff, they noted that it's one of the quickest releases in college football, snap to release for Texas, whether it be Ewers or Manning. And a big part of it is because of those wide receiver screens. And Tim Beck telling us we got to bring those guys down or they can run for a long ways. Another outlet pass and an upended tackle from C.J. Taylor on DeAndre Moore. And that leaves Texas with a third down on its second possession of the game.
2 touchdowns from running backs out of the backfield inside the red zone a week ago for the Texas offense. And you can see, Tom, how Sark can just kind of lull you to sleep. These quick, easy throws to the perimeter, and then they go tempo, step on the gas. You have to make adjustments.
3rd and 1, sling to the outside. And Moore gets wrestled down by DeRicky Wright, but Texas is going to have 1st and goal inside the 5.
See Quinn Ewers changing that arm angle, just kind of side arming one out into the flat, trying to beat the defender to the sideline. Excellent play by DeRicky Wright, who's been playing really good football last couple weeks.
Wholesale substitutions for Vanderbilt after Texas subbed a player. Ewers with a pick on a batted ball. First possession for Texas, trying to bounce back. Goes to the end zone. It is a one-handed grab and a Texas touchdown by Matthew Golden. Golden hadn't scored a touchdown since the 2nd game of the season. They get him back on track here on their 2nd possession.
Boy, risky play from that Texas offense, but they go with the quick out, got a little bit of a screen off of it, and just an amazing catch by Matthew Golden.
That was a 9-play, 75-yard drive, and on that drive, Quinn Ewers was a perfect 8 for 8 for 69 yards and the touchdown. Point after is good. It's the 19th consecutive game with a touchdown pass for Quinn Ewers. And Matthew Golden, the junior transfer from the Houston Cougars, goes with glue on the gloves and hauls that one in back to the body. Great look from the pylon cam. And Texas has tied it up with a long drive, and we're even at 7s early.
SEC Network Football is presented by the Sonic $1.99 menu. Live free, eat Sonic. And in part by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Get internet how you want it.
A ranked versus ranked matchup featuring Vanderbilt, which hasn't played in one since Matthew Stafford and A.J. Green were connecting for the Georgia Bulldogs, and Oshawn Moreno was in the backfield. 3rd ranked versus ranked matchup for Vandy since 1960. It's a 3rd this season for Texas. By the way, shout out Vandy quarterback Mackenzie Adams, who threw for a couple of touchdowns in that game opposite Matthew Stafford. Be a long field for this Vandy team, which has been knocking down the doors this season. First ever win against an AP top 5 team was their first win against number 1. They knocked off Bama, and in the top 25 for the first time since 2013. They're looking to make it to their 10th bowl in the history of this program, which has been around since the 1800s.
It's just wild to see the transformation of the personality, the personnel, coaching staff. Everything heading in the right direction for Clark Lee here in Music City.
Clark Lee found his quarterback, Diego Pavia, at New Mexico State. And the New Mexico State coaches found him at a junior college. And how they found him, just adding to the legend. Option for Pavia. Fake, nearly a face mask, and he gets to the 30-yard line. I was talking with Jerry Kill before the game. He's now on this Clark Lee staff, former Big Ten coach of the year at Minnesota, among other stops. He said he and Tim Beck, his offensive coordinator, were recruiting the quarterback from Iowa Western. There's Beck up in the booth calling plays. Iowa Western was playing New Mexico Military in the Junior College National Championship game. They scouted that game on television from the Hooters in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and they discovered over the flats we're recruiting the wrong guy. And that's how they discovered Diego Pavia. The rest is both New Mexico State and Vanderbilt history. Pavia keeps that one. He takes a couple of hits and he gets forward. All right, so 3rd down now for Vandy. The danger for Texas, and they told us, was if Vandy can get it to 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 6, that opens up Tim Beck's entire playbook.
That's where a lot of your option plays are still available, whether it's the flatline option that we've seen, sort of that power read option, or a jet sweep that comes across. You can get A little bit of a sprint out where Diego Pavia has the ability to tuck it and run or quickly distribute it. Once again, you get in this scenario, find number 9 first and foremost, Tom, Eli Stowers.
They won the game against Bama on third down. They're 12 of 18 against number 1 Bama on third down. They go with the fullback here. And nothing doing. Cedric Alexander, the Austin native, is bottled up and will be stopped short. That'll bring 4th and 1 to the table. Diego Pavia looks like he doesn't want to leave the field. What do you do if you're Clark Lee?
Looks like they're going to go for it. Eli Stowers coming back into the game. If 44 is in the game, Gabe Fisher, you can pretty much bet it's going to be a run play for Vanderbilt. He exits now on 4th and short.
Vandy is 3 of 4 on 4th down over the course of the season. Fourth and 1 for Vanderbilt. And it looks like some confusion. It is not. This is part of the playbook, and it turns into a sweep and a first down by Junior Sherrill. Nobody is better at selling than Diego Pavia, but there's a flag on the play near side. Was that Jerry Kill acting down on the sideline, throwing his arms up? Sure was. Trying to sell the lack of communication with his quarterback. Here's the call.
Illegal formation. Offense, number 3. His shoulders were not squared to the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So they're going to call this on Quincy Skinner, saying his shoulders not squared to the line of scrimmage. You get Diego Pavia is going to look over to the right. And this is where 4-star quarterback recruit Eli Stowers gets under center, takes a snap. Unfortunately, going to end in a punt situation for the Commodores.
As it leaves them with 4th and 6. And the catch made on the run by Silas Bolden. He sneaks through. Bolden takes it past midfield. And Texas has regained momentum after a 24-yard return from Silas Bolden. Number 5 Texas, number 25 Vandy in a heated affair in Nashville. You may be confused about that 4th down call. We're going to show you why this officiating crew got it right.
By rule, Quincy Skinner here at the bottom of your screen, if he is on the line of scrimmage, shoulders must be approximately parallel to the goal line. He is on the line of scrimmage, and as you can see, facing the sideline on that last play.
It's by design that he's going to turn to the sideline and complain about the lack of communication. That's part of the ruse. But if he was off the line, he would have been just fine. Play action, Ewers. Deep out route is caught, and that's a Texas first down for Amari Niblack.
Boy, Niblack runs 22 miles an hour. They want to get him going to the passing game. More important part of that play, Tom, very clean pocket for Quinn Ewers off play action. An excellent job by that Longhorn offensive line.
And Texas has an opportunity with momentum. Put a hammer down here early. Another swing pass to the perimeter looking for a block, and the freshman Ryan Wingo gets his helmet knocked off. Tyson Russell in on the stop for Vandy.
To Ricky Wright as well, coming in, bullying one of those Texas blockers out front. Right there, you see getting to the ground. To Ricky Wright, Russell coming up, taking away one of those quick throws that Sark wants to utilize today.
So then I'm curious, what's the play off of that for Texas if they're going to start to overplay those little 2-man screens?
Double moves.
See if they give Ewers time. Here's Amari Niblack again for the 2nd time this drive. That's 11 consecutive completions now for Quinn Ewers, who has found his rhythm. And to your point, we both asked Sark pregame, this is the quarterback plan. It would have to be some sort of disaster to go to Arch Manning.
Yeah, Quinn's the guy. Quinn is the one that's more capable in the offense right now, and that's not a knock on Arch Manning. Quinn just understands how to get to different protections, how to get to different runs, when to get the ball out, where to get the ball out. And as Quinn told us before the Mississippi State game, year 2 is when you experience the most growth in this offense, so Arch's going to get that throughout the course of this season.
3rd and 8 for Ewers. Got man coverage to his slot receiver. It's caught over the shoulder by DeAndre Moore. Back-to-back scoring drives for the Longhorns.
Sark happy to have DeAndre Moore back close to 100%, and this is just a beautiful ball from Quinn Ewers. Going to show you the touch that he can put on the deep ball down the field. Allows DeAndre Moore to run underneath it and snag a touchdown for the Longhorns.
Bert Auburn for the point after. 4-play, 49-yard drive, and 14 unanswered for Texas.
I'll keep going back to it, Tom. Great protection by the Longhorn offensive line. Wisner in on the help, one-on-one down the field. DeAndre Moore is going to win that 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 times. There you see just an outside release. Moore shows off the speed. Excellent ball from Quinn Ewers.
And it's easy to see the advantage Texas has from a speed department in this one.
Sark told me on the field before the game, we have to utilize our speed today. I think some of that was going to be in the quick game. Some of it, when they get one-on-ones, was going to be down the field like that. Clark Lee said they didn't want to get too far away from cover 3. Some of it would be covering thirds of the field, but they can't play single safety against this group. These wide receivers run too well.
0 first quarter points the last 2 games for this Texas team. Will Stone will kick it off. And if Vandy wants to keep this postseason dream alive, the Commodores need to start picking up some third downs and run some clock. No return for Vanderbilt. Tim Beck is the offensive play caller for this Vanderbilt team. He won a national championship at the Division II level with Pittsburgh State, where he played for Jerry Kill back in the 80s. And the success for his offense, Cole, when it comes to the statistical breakdown, is moving it forward first and second down, so then it's a manageable third down, and then they can eat some clock.
They're not a straight drop back passing team. It's not really what they are. The options that are usually available is how they're going to beat you. It's a lot by deception, a lot by forcing you to defend different things on an individual play. And you got to have a quarterback like Diego Pavia to be able to make those things happen.
It's offense based on the old wing T veer and the Nevada pistol, popularized by Chris Holt and obviously Colin Kaepernick. And Pavia swings it out wide open as Cedric Alexander celebrated a birthday yesterday. 15-yard pickup. What a difference a year makes. This new look run first offense has gone hyperdrive now. 23 points and 95 rush yards a game. Triple digit ranking in the rush yards, and now they're running for 162 a game and scoring 33.
Yeah, the run first part, I think what you mentioned there, Tom, the most important aspect. We talk a lot about the quarterback position inside this offense, but they have to get downhill first. They have to run the football to unlock everything else that they want to be.
Vanderbilt is trailing for the first time in 3 SEC games. Pavia takes it. They didn't trail in the Bama game or the Kentucky game, and the first time they've done that in consecutive SEC games since the Eisenhower administration. 1960. Now 2nd and 3, and that's how the first quarter will likely come to an end. Texas was looking for a bounce back performance after the loss to Georgia last Saturday night, and Vanderbilt might just try to squeeze one off before the end of the quarter. And we will wait to see what they have drawn up on 2nd and short.
That is the end of the first quarter.
And now it's Vanderbilt playing from behind for the first time in almost a month in conference action. Diego Pavia with a nose for the end zone. Quinn Ewers in Texas with the answer. And the Longhorns have a touchdown lead through 1 quarter. SEC football is presented by Sonic. Lower Broadway was taken over by the Burnt Orange last night. Tip jar was full of Tootsies by those folks enjoying the nightlife here in Nashville, Music City. First road trip here over a century. 2nd and 3 for Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. G. Hoskins in motion. They go straight ahead with it, and a powerful run for the first down. Between quarters, Alyssa Lang with Clark Lee.
Coach, what's the message to your offense here to put some more points up?
There's no message. I mean, we're going to be okay. I mean, I love the fourth down conversion. It's unfortunate, the call, which I still don't quite understand. But these guys, we're confident. We're going to get back out, and we got into third down on defense. Just need to stop there. They had a nice win off the line against man. We just got to settle into our identity here and have a nice drive. We'll do that. I've got supreme confidence in those guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
So fresh set of downs for Pavia and Vandy. And he throws to the slant for the first down to junior Sherrill. He can be a magician with a great handwork, gain of 15.
Diego Pavia works the mesh as well as any quarterback in college football. Watch him stick this in the belly of the back, yank it out because he sees the linebacker up. Knows he's got room to complete that slant. Leona Lufau just walking up to the line of scrimmage on that play fake, and Diego Pavia knew he had that defense beat. Nice throw.
Vandy scored on its first possession thanks to a short field. 3 running backs in the game now. They'll motion them out. Alexander still next to Pavia. Tipped and intercepted. Michael Taft with the takeaway. Taft compared facing Vandy to facing Buda Hayes High School. He said you've got to have great eye discipline for what they do with all the misdirection. And for Taft, it's his first pick of the year. Ethan Burke tipped it up. And another Austin native, Michael Taft, picked it off.
Ethan Burke, great length at the line of scrimmage. There you see him going up with the tip pass. Taft, right place, right time. And an excellent job from the Texas safety. He's been great here in the last couple of games. You just watch the film and 16's all over the place. Told us last night at the hotel, Tom, it was my dream growing up to wear burnt orange. And to hear a young man say that, see him make a play like that, that's pretty cool.
And his teammate from Austin Westlake is the one who helped him out with that. The tip and then the pick. Swing out to Wisner. I felt like that possession for Vandy was going to be critical, and now Texas can create some breathing room. They continue to lean on that speed.
Well, I felt like Vandy had a couple of things set up there, Tom. You had linebackers taking themselves out of certain plays. You had the RPO game going with the slant that you hit. So it felt like Tim Beck was beginning to open some things up offensively. Now with that turnover momentum right back with the Longhorns.
Ewers spins around, looks to go deep, and now he'll scramble. Ewers slides just shy of first down, down where the slide begins, and he's a yard short. Since that interception on a tip ball, 13 of 13 with a couple of scores, and 19 games with a passing touchdown for Quinn Ewers.
That's efficient. Hadn't gone over 300 yards since January 1, but he has been efficient, and he can work those quick throws as well as anybody, changing the arm angles, off platform.
Second and a long one now. Wisner spun around. Pardon me, that's Jadon Blue. And the Houston native out of Klein Cain High School picks up a first down for Texas.
A nice job by Cameron Williams, big 56, the offensive tackle for Texas on the right side. Struggled a little bit in pass protection a week ago, but he has come a long way this season, made vast improvements.
Another opportunity for Blue, and he takes full advantage. Down just short of the marker, and a couple of flags come flying in late. Isa Wataha was in the middle of the mix. What Daniel Gautreaux and his crew have decided here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 56. 15-yard penalty will be added from the end of the run. The down counts. It's second down. Number 9's helmet came off due to foul, so he can stay in the game.
I said number 9. They meant number 5's helmet, so Wataha can stay in the game. The junior from Cologne, Germany. But that's Cameron Williams, who stayed with it a little too long. And a penalty assessed after the play. Second down. Ewers is able to find Jadon Blue. Makes the first one miss. And that Texas speed has been an absolute weapon no matter who's got their hands on the football. It's a Texas first down.
This is what Georgia did great a week ago that you see Fournette not do so well here, and that's tackle in the open field. The Bulldogs were able to get Texas ball carriers in space to the ground in one-on-ones. You're going to have to do it, Tom. They're going to stress you in that way. Those detachments from the core that we've talked about are going to get out in space and get the football quickly.
Now Jarrett Gibson in at running back. He picks up a blitzer. Ewers finds his tight end, Gunnar Helm. Helm stood up, but picked up 4.
So you go nub tight end to the near side, means he's the in man on the line of scrimmage, and you just drag him across with those linebackers now dropping a little bit deeper. It's a nice read from Quinn Ewers. He knows he's got it, so he can wait on it, and then just delivers an accurate ball late.
Some try to suggest there was a quarterback controversy after Ewers went to Arch Manning. Now 15 consecutive completions for Ewers. He is on a roll. Now the run game. First down, Wisner. Tripped up inside the 20 and a flag down at the 26-yard line. That'll be holding, and it'll bring it back. Another O-line penalty.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
That time it's Kelvin Banks.
Well, Jake Major's going to have a little conversation with Kelvin Banks and say, you may have just cost me an opportunity to win the Golden Hog of the Week award.
I don't know
Taking
what that is,
block
but it
off the
sounds really
board.
cool.
That was Jake Majors pulling around and getting a big block downfield, but Kelvin Banks holding on just a little bit too long, hands on the outside of the perimeter.
Now second and long. Blue bottled up. And that'll leave third and about 9 for Texas. What do you like here? Do you like another one of those short passes? Texas so far is 4 for 4 on third down.
I think you've used the quick pass, the short pass well enough to be able to set up some sort of a double move here. Now some of this is going to be dependent on alignment. I'd be surprised if Clark Lee went man coverage.
Vandy is 14th in the conference in sacks. They have a hard time getting to the quarterback. Oh, and they bust out of that. Nick Rinaldi with the sack for Vandy.
We talked about slide protection, Tom, and it doesn't have to be a full slide. It could be three-quarter slide, half slide. So it appears as you'll get a portion of this offensive line go slide to the right. That opens up Rinaldi right up the gut to be able to make that sack. It's miscommunication with the left guard and the rest of the offensive line. Hayden Connor either not sliding with or not understanding his assignment. And those free runners, like we showed you earlier in the broadcast, cost Texas a week ago, showing up costly again for the Longhorns today in Nashville.
So Michael Kern will be forced to punt it away. The O-line penalties really crushing Texas even before the sack. What a fantastic effort. And that one is down at the 1-yard line by DeAndre Moore. Down where he hauled it in, and he's able to get it inside the 1. The loose ball was picked up, but it was also already whistled dead.
Is that the kicking team player caught the football and possessed it at the 1-yard line. First and 10, Vanderbilt.
Texas has done a lot of things right today, even though they had those penalties on offense a moment ago. Special teams with a special play. And Diego Pavia is going to have a 99-yard field in front of him.
Dari Noka in studio. Let's take a look at the unexpected performance brought to you by J-Lab and Talon Green. Maybe it shouldn't be so unexpected, but the level of greatness was incredible. 6 touchdowns responsible for, including that ridiculous move as Arkansas hammers Mississippi State, guys.
673 yards of offense for Arkansas, Dari. What a performance. Now 5-3 overall. Out of their own end zone, Pavia trying to find some daylight, and he gets tripped on his way to the 5-yard line. A little bit more now.
Boy, dangerous with that push from big 99 Jermaine Cole in the middle of the Texas defense. Pavia able to elude. And Pavia seems to be the only north-south rushing attack that Vanderbilt's had today. Tim Beck's going to want to get that going. He has to have that go, but if it's Pavia, it's fine. They'll maneuver it off of that.
There's Lole, his senior transfer out of Louisville. Monty Jones is now in a tailback. And Jones with a stiff arm picks up maybe a yard and a half, maybe. Anthony Hill, who is top 10 in the SEC in tackles and third in the league in tackles for loss, comes up to make the stop, the product out of Denton Ryan High School.
But 88 Baron Sorrell, the one that made that happen. He sheds the tight end, sort of gets in the way of one of the pullers there, and doesn't allow that run to get any momentum, and Anthony Hill could climb over the top and make the play.
7:15 and rolling here in the second quarter, and Vandy in a real danger zone if they can't convert. Looking at a 3rd and 5. Empty backfield for Pavia. Looking for a shovel pass. Nearly picked. It's batted down for an incomplete pass. Trey Moore had that thing perfectly scouted. And Vandy will punt it away. This was nearly a pick six.
And Trey Moore right there just talk about the wherewithal, the awareness of the veteran edge defender. Probably hasn't had the year that a lot of Texas fans, I'll even say myself, thought he was going to have. He was dynamic at UTSA, and I thought adding some twitch on the edge would be great for Pete Kwiatkowski's defense. But to be able to locate that play and then go find the football, bat it down, just an excellent job.
He was the AAC Defensive Player of the Year last year with UTSA, and now Jesse Murko, Australian punter, from his end zone. That one with nice carry, but not much hang time. Bolden fell as he was receiving it, and a missed opportunity after a 52-yard punt. See if Quinn Ewers can keep it going. This Texas offense found its rhythm before that last drive.
The true beauty of college football is in its contrasts. Say, a school with all the history and trophies and money versus the program that has always had to scrap. And yet here they are in late October, both with numbers next to their names. See? Beautiful.
We don't have to look far to find the difference in the program history. 4 national titles for UT, none for Vandy. 48 first-round picks, 9 Commodores going in the first round. The quarterback's probably the greatest explanation of the disparity between the two programs. Both Texas quarterbacks, NIL deals in the millions, including an Aston Martin when Quinn Ewers got to campus. And Diego Pavia's cousin is trying to scrap together some funds for him after that Alabama win.
Saw a chicken spot with him yesterday.
I did, yeah. It's hot chicken. Stutter step to the line on 2nd and 11 for Wisner. Now 3rd and 7. Couple of offensive line penalties for Texas on its last possession. Had him going backwards, ended up punting.
See what Clark Lee tries to dial up from a pressure standpoint. I think he wants to overcommit bodies. Going to overload one side potentially. 3 to the left side of the offensive line.
There's a lot more movement up front than Vandy has shown. Here comes a safety blitz over the middle, caught for the first down. It's Gunnar Helm. Helm is 7th among tight ends in yards after catch. That's something he worked hard on in the offseason. This one goes for 22.
Excellent protection. Running back, bam! Steps up right there, and a nice job giving Quinn Ewers time to deliver to his tight end.
So 1st and 10. Ewers with the handoff. And a bounce for Wisner. And Alyssa, it's no mistake that Gunnar Helm's been so good after the catch.
He told me that was the biggest challenge from Coach Sarkisian and the staff in the summer. He said, hey, we're losing Jatavion Sanders, and we don't expect this tight end group to miss a step. You've got to get better after the catch. And Sark said he absolutely has. The numbers prove it.
Not just the tight ends, but lost some yardage in the receiver room. And here's DeAndre Moore. After a slip tackle, Moore takes it in from 25 yards out. Second touchdown of the game for DeAndre Moore. That is now 17 straight completions for Quinn Ewers.
Tom, the play design from Steve Sarkisian here is just wicked. The different directions that he has bodies going to steal eyes.
A 5-play, 59-yard drive. Quinn Ewers trying to track down his own school record for consecutive completions. What do you like about this play call?
Well, this the deception first and foremost. So you're going to get a run fake to the right. You'll see a receiver from the outside come in, and then this receiver's going to push outside DeAndre Moore. Tight end also coming across. Just not enough bodies to even defend it really and truly. And if they play tricks on you, well, you're going to end up like Halloween, a touchdown in your bag.
Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning working the iPad, and they like what they see. And certainly Quinn Ewers likes what he's been able to do. He's trying to chase down his school record 19 consecutive completions. It came against Oklahoma last year. And he is nearly there. He is 17 of 17 for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns since the pick. Well, now the pressure really gets ramped up on Diego Pavia and this offense to try and find some explosive plays. How do you do it?
You don't press. You're down 2 touchdowns, so you stay within your scheme, stay within your system. Don't try to take the top off here. Don't try to ramp up the tempo too much. I don't think Tim Beck would do that anyway. But he can communicate with his quarterback, who Tim Beck has told us, hey, he could run this whole thing if he had to by himself. He could call it. Actually did call it late in the Georgia State game earlier this year when they lost communication.
2 losses on the season to Vandy. One on the road at Georgia State, another one in double overtime on the road at Missouri. Play clock at 5. Pavia rolls out and delivers a strike on the run to Quincy Skinner. That'll bring up a manageable second down. Bears noting that Vandy won the toss but deferred. So the Commodores will start the second half of the football if they can find something on this possession, and they can eat clock with the best of them.
If you had a shot play dialed up, Tom, this might not be a bad time to throw it out.
Yeah, worst case, you're left with an incompletion and a manageable 3rd and 3. You got Sherrill at the bottom of the formation outside of your TV monitor. Pavia play action. Looked to sling, and now he wants to run. And Pavia picks up the first down with his legs, and a flag coming in towards the end of that play where Junior Sherrill was trying to block. As it stands, a 19-yard gain, and Pavia is limping to the sideline. And Diego Pavia is headed to the trainer, and he's headed to the 10.
Holding. 0 offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains second down.
And this is a deflating play for Vanderbilt. He had the first down, and Junior Sherrill got caught holding.
Out wide, looks like he's got his hands inside the framework initially, but just maybe holds on a little bit too long.
Well, maybe. And then Pavia had that ankle rolled up on the tackle by Jelani McDonald. So Nate Johnson, Jr. out of Fresno, California, was a 4-star recruit in high school, number 4 quarterback in his class. Enters for Vanderbilt. Johnson keeps it. Got to make some guys miss. And he takes it past the 40 and able to pick up the first down and a gain of 10. 2 seasons at Utah for Nate Johnson. We made 3 starts over 7 games. Comes from an athletic family. His dad Jerome played basketball at Oklahoma. His brother Jonathan was a fullback playing for the Utes. And it's a coaching staff that is confident with what Johnson can do. He and Pavia were thick in the quarterback race until late in the season. In fact, they didn't even name a starter for the season opener against Virginia Tech until Pavia came out with the first team offense. Hands that one off into a wall of white, burnt orange, and no gain.
Big Bill Norton on the inside of that Texas defensive line. slants to the right, gets north and south, and able to stop that downhill Vanderbilt rushing attack. Norton started his career at Georgia, off to Arizona. He was a big add for this Texas defense. Devondre Sweat, Byron Murphy, 2 defensive tackles lost from that playoff team a year ago. A big body who is active inside for Pete Kwiatkowski's defense.
He doesn't look like a number 15, does he?
It makes you look a little trimmer.
I should start wearing that number then. 2nd and 10. Johnson pulls it back, goes the slant, nearly picked. Hit Anthony Hill in the hands. Say what you want about that play, but it seems like Texas is well prepared for everything Vandy's throwing out.
No, there's no doubt. This is just locking on to your number 1 target, jet sweep play action, and he wants to go to Cole Spence the entire time. I'm not sure Nate Johnson even attempts the look off. Anthony Hill Jr. just played too much football for that. He's going to understand how to follow the quarterback's eyes, and almost comes up with the pick.
Vandy leading the SEC in 3rd down conversions, just 1 of 3 tonight, and they're trying to get it done with their backup quarterback, Nate Johnson. 4-man rush. Johnson over the middle. What a fantastic catch by Eli Stowers. The former Texas A&M quarterback is celebrating his 1-year anniversary as a tight end. And this skill set's going to take him to the league.
Well, you're going to see Trey Moore come into the screen right there. Johnson had to throw the football over him. He won on a nice inside move, but Eli Stowers, the high school quarterback, he's been a tight end for maybe a little over a year, year and a half. He is turning into one of college football's premier weapons.
2-minute timeout with Diego Pavia still in the tent getting the ankle treated. Texas with a 2-touchdown lead, but Nate Johnson is driving the doors.
Check out.
Earlier this drive on a 1st down run that was negated by injury, Diego Pavia went down with a left knee injury. Saw that knee crash into the turf. He spent a few plays in the medical tent. He just came out of it with a knee brace on that left knee. A similar situation that he went through in the Kentucky game a couple of weeks ago. And he spells Nate Johnson, the Vandy captain, back on the field with a 1st and 10. That's Stowers in motion. Straight ahead and a bounce to the outside and a physical tackle by Jelani McDonald, gain of 1. Alyssa, what do you got on Pavia?
Diego came out of the tent. He jogged around a little bit. I saw the trainers talking to him, asking some questions. Didn't hear what the conversation was, but you could tell Diego was moving closer and closer to the field to try to get out there. And guys, with all the time we've spent with him so far this season, he would literally have to be unconscious to not be on that football field. So he wanted to be back out there.
And he said as much at the end of the Kentucky game. He said, playing for Jerry Kill, who's had more health issues than anybody, I'd have to lose an arm to come out of a game. 2nd and 9 now. What a stop by McDonald. Texas doesn't seem to be missing Andrew Makuba, who's out with an injury. Safeties are playing really well. Play action, and he's chased. And will get taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, had Junior Sherrill on the deep out route, almost like a little deep whip from 0, and Pavia just decided to tuck it down, trying to run, get out of bounds there, but he came out of that fake, thought he had a ball he could have completed.
You think he's missing some shots downfield, but it's not the first time, I don't think. You think he's missing some looks downfield?
I think that's the first one I've seen him have a clean look down the field, but they also hadn't drawn too many up, Tom. Had many opportunities to push the ball down the field.
Play clock's already at 4. They just get it off. Handoff, and Alexander got tripped up, lost the football. Scooped up by Texas Trey Moore. And the Longhorns with the takeaway, even the turnover battle.
For Cedric Alexander, a nice bounce outside. Close to maybe that left knee quad being on the ground before the ball pops loose.
It was Taff who forced the fumble, and I think that's going to deserve a second look.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. The previous play is under video review.
Boy, Taft just gets that shoulder right on the football as Alexander's trying to extend it out. Just trying to fight for that first down yardage.
That's really hard to tell. Looked like his left hip. But to your point, the quad was the first body part that hit. Besides the left hand, it is secure there. And Taft jarred it loose. A runner is down when any body part besides the bottom of the foot or the hand hit the turf, so the thigh would count. And that looks as bang as you can imagine.
It just
must be indisputable evidence to overturn. It was ruled a fumble on the field.
That angle there, it looks like that ball potentially out there right before the quad or knee were to go down. Like you said, Tom, that's about as bang as we're going to see. At 16, he just keeps showing up.
Yeah.
You put this Texas defense on, you watch them, and it's all of a sudden out of nowhere run support. Here comes 16, back in the secondary, pops up, bats a ball down. He's just such an active player in this Texas secondary. And
going back to Michael Taft's playing days at Austin Westlake, he picked off Quinn Ewers in the Division 6A Division I title game. Picked him off twice when Westlake matched up with South Lake Carroll in 2020. Taft puts his helmet on the forearm. Alexander looks like his body was off the ground when it occurred, when we slow that one down. Yep, I got that out. That left leg was the one that was the first to touch, and the black uniform pants were above the turf when the ball started to oscillate.
Well, and Cedric Alexander runs so hard. He is a violent runner. He is a heck of a blocker. Pass protection as a lead blocker. You hate to see a guy essentially be punished for trying to run hard, trying to do more. But ball security, of course, vital.
This game means a lot to everybody down on the field. Means a lot to Alexander. Grew up in Austin and grew up as an Oklahoma fan. We asked him yesterday, where'd that come from? He said, well, it started with my dad, and I'm not quite sure where my dad got it, but he said, I wasn't the only one in Austin. There's a couple other Sooner fans running around, but probably not that many. This is a lengthy review. And as part of the review, how to rule on it and then figure out time on clock and where the ball was spotted.
After video review, the ruling on the field stands.
And so Texas with the takeaway, and the Longhorns with 1 minute left in the half have an opportunity to add to the advantage thanks to Michael Taft and his first forced fumble of the season. Yeah, put it on a sword.
Turnover sword.
Does a sword trump a guitar?
We saw that from Arizona in the Alamo Bowl a couple years ago.
17 straight completions for Quinn Ewers. Goes deep looking for number 18, and it is incomplete. No flag. Trying to find the speedy freshman Ryan Wingo.
Not sure Wingo locates this football. You do see, obviously, hand kind of around the neck there. A little early contact by Martell Height.
We call that Ascot defense. Under a minute to play in the first half. Ewers' long throw to the near side and hauled in by Matthew Golden. DeAndre Moore has been the deep threat for Texas. He's got a couple of touchdowns. The Longhorns, after the first possession interception, have been rolling right along. One pick and one punt for the offense in the first half. 3rd down 3.
Well, with your timeouts, you have the ability to work the middle of the field here. If you're Quinn Ewers, want to try to pick up first down yardage, continue this drive.
Ewers pressured, kept the football, and will go down. Sacked by Random Fontenette. And that leaves Texas with a timeout and a 4th down coming up with 38 seconds left in the half. Let's get ready for our halftime show. Quick check-in with our buddies in the studio.
30 seconds.
All right, Tom, it will be the Auto Owners Insurance halftime report. We'll update you on Missouri and Alabama. So far, it's a bit one-sided. Arkansas, incredible offensive performance. Get you set for LSU and A&M. How about this Texas team right now?
Yeah, Quinn Ewers trying to quiet some of the haters right now.
Explosive plays, 5 of them over 20 yards in the passing game.
Vandy can't afford to continue these mistakes either. Guys, we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. In Tuscaloosa, Alabama leads Missouri 13-0. They just started the second half there. Texas to punt it away on 4th and 11. Vandy's got a pair of timeouts remaining. Not a good kick. And it sails to the Texas sideline. Take another look at the sack a moment ago.
Tom, this is a similar situation to what we've been talking about. Slide protection to the right. You're just going to have an extra defender that's going to be green dog or trigger blitz out wide. Nobody's there to pick him up. Quinn Ewers just a little bit indecisive, holds on to that football too long. Vanderbilt able to come up with the sack.
Well, it was only a 23-yard punt. See what Pavia has dialed up and what Tim Beck has in his bag of tricks. Remember, Vanderbilt will get the ball to start the second half. First-year offensive coordinator with Vandy after a long career alongside Jerry Kill, including New Mexico State, where they turned that program around. It was the worst in the country. Quick hitter to the outside and just stepping out of bounds. Whoa. We got a physical game. Jelani McDonald has been doing some damage. Junior Sherrill on a gain of 5.
See McDonald with a little belly to back suplex at the end of the play.
Used to have that down in the Nashville Coliseum down the road, didn't they? 2nd and 5. Pavia rolls to his left. 25 seconds left. Throws back across to Stowers, and he takes it into Texas territory. Gain of 13. Pavia trying to get him the line after the clock will roll after the ball is spotted.
I'm sure how he got the ball out with that angle, running left, facing back to his right.
Vanderbilt, it's their second. It will be 30 seconds.
19 seconds left in the half.
Contortionist Diego Pavia running left, looking back right, takes a shot to the face and gets that ball completed to his tight end Eli Stowers.
Diego Pavia is at his best seemingly when he's unconventional because he's unpredictable.
I don't think there's any doubt when he's creating. He draws your attention so well, and he talked to us about some of those ball fakes, and what a couple of his teammates told us they knew he was a little something special in practice one day when he got guys' feet off the ground and in practice yelled dummy and then kind of
is that what he said?
The ball fake and ran past him. That's what we were told.
I'm a little surprised he looked as smooth as he did just now, guys. I've been watching him on the sideline, and he's definitely still in noticeable pain, a little bit of a limp. But as Tom said, when situations are unconventional, that's when he seems to thrive.
Let's see if Vandy's able to take a shot. They motion Alexander out. They got 5 wide. Pavia comes near side. There's a flag down. He connects with Quincy Skinner. Daniel Gautreau.
Holding. Defense number 5. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Foul results in a first down.
Malik Muhammad.
Malik Muhammad right here. Sorry, here. Malik Muhammad gets the call. Taft,
that's not
actually,
fair.
The hold.
I think Taft owes Muhammad a dinner after that one. 15 seconds left in the half. Pavia's only thrown for 55 yards to this point. Everybody's going deep. And he finds the 8th row after the carom. 9 seconds left. They've got a strong-legged kicker in Brock Taylor. And he prefers to kick this direction to that north end zone. They need a little bit more yardage to help him out. Be a 54-yarder from here, which is in his range. He set a school record with a 57-yarder in the loss against Missouri. They go out of the pistol here, 2nd and 10 with a timeout left. They might just be playing for the field goal.
You could run this off right tackle, have a good run look, and then try to pick up field goal yardage.
Play clock nearly expired on him. Pavia's going to scramble. Lowers his shoulder. He's inbounds, and they'll take a timeout. Trey Moore with the stop for Texas, and that'll bring out Brock Taylor.
Timeout, Vanderbilt. It's their third. It will be 30 seconds.
You see the closing speed of Trey Moore, Texas edge defender. Just being able to close the space on Diego. Pavia lowers the boom near the sideline.
I talked with Brock Taylor about finding his aim point, kicking into this new north end zone facility, which houses both the men's and women's basketball facilities. And he said, this is preferred. He goes, I pick a spot just underneath those cameras, between the cameras and the clock. And with no wind, a 54-yard field goal is well within the range of Brock Taylor. Got the distance, and Brock Taylor drills it. Brock Taylor is now 5 of 6 from beyond 50 yards this season. A little shimmy for the Knoxville Catholic product. This was a 2-iron.
He had another 10, 15 yards on that kick, easy.
Well, Vanderbilt has not had much momentum in this game after its opening drive with a short field, but now they got some hope, and they'll have the ball to start the second half. Down to the field with Clark Lee. Here's a listen.
Coach, your offense felt like they had something to prove coming into this game. How would you evaluate the first half?
Well, I thought we found some good rhythm. You know, the passing game got going. We got the ball in the perimeter. We hit a couple runs. We've had a couple unfortunate penalties, but I liked our rhythm and balance when we were able to get going.
What's the message to your defense at halftime as far as the second half against this group?
Well, we got to keep winning on first down. That helps us on those third down opportunities.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Steve Sarkisian and this Texas team looking to bounce back. Coming up at the half, you can catch a live performance of the Spirit of Gold marching band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. 21-10 is our score here in Nashville. Let's get to the studio for the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Dari Noka, Chris Doring, and Benjamin Watson, the Blue Suit Group.
That's true. We are all in.
It is the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Is Tom Hart observational or is he observational? Like, does he pay attention?
He's detail oriented.
He is very, very detail oriented. All right, so.
That wasn't a joke, was it? Was that a little joke?
No.
Oh, okay, thanks, Tom.
It's a Blue Suit Group.
Yeah.
We are all in somewhat.
Yeah,
we're all blue. All right, good. Right now it's Vandy that's feeling blue after the.
Are they? They just crushed a 54-yard field goal.
They did, but it's a couple of turnovers. You talked about this off the air. It's uncharacteristic Vanderbilt football.
And Texas was out.
We've redefined
Vanderbilt
football,
Texas
and this isn't it.
Was converting on third downs. They were possessing the football.
Yeah.
They were limiting what Pavia's impact of the game could be. They were taking the ball away. So I thought Texas played really well, particularly I mentioned Quinn Ewers, 19 to 21 in the first half there, spread the ball around to 7 different receivers, and 7 explosive pass plays there in the first half, too. So felt like it was really good utilization of all the weapons that they have on that offense.
Yeah, he bounced back after that early interception, had a streak there of 17 straight completions. And I just thought the offense, you mentioned the explosive plays, but how about the yards after catch? 171 yards after catch for this offense at Texas of their 200 or so total passing yards. Look, we wanted to see this offense. I wanted to see how they bounced back after the last game. And it seemed like they came out, they struggled a little bit early, but they figured it out and got on pace. And forcing the turnovers defensively, I think for them, really was the catalyst. That they did better at what Vanderbilt does to what Vanderbilt actually does. Coming on second half, it'll be interesting to see how Vanderbilt responds, though.
By the way, all-time record between these two, Vanderbilt 8, Texas 3, and 1 tie. But it was all before 1929, so what difference does that make? All right, let's show you another game going on right now. They just entered the second half in Tuscaloosa. Brady Cook in Missouri. Cook was doubtful at one point, but Cook started despite having a bad ankle. Meanwhile, for Alabama, Kendrick Law picks up 25, would lead to a 47-yard field goal, and Alabama was up 3-0. Second quarter, Milroe to Jeremy Bernard for 21, led to another field goal. So the bend but don't break Tiger defense keeping them in this ball game.
This right here, though, is concerning. You see Brady Cook go out.
That's concerning is this throw, though.
Yeah, but I think it leads to that throw. When you're sitting on the sideline and you don't know if you're going to play or when you're going to come in, horrible read by Drew Pine here. Throws it directly to Malachi Moore, who has his second interception in as many games.
Yeah, not good. And
Sorry, complimentary football by Alabama in the first half. Took advantage of some short field opportunities, including the only touchdowns in the first half set up by that interception.
There's Jam Miller there. So Alabama up 13-zip at the break. Early second half. Tide's first drive. Jalen Milroe starts left, goes right, takes it in. And it's a 20-0 lead. Brady Cook still not in the game. Drew Pine is not riding it, actually. He's in the game right now. Missouri football, but it is a struggle to move the football offensively. Just 101 yards of offense against this Bama team, as it looks like a struggle that is continuing for Missouri. But we've seen Bama the last 3 weeks, including the win against South Carolina, look far from themselves. How do you assess Bama to what we've seen so far?
I like the defensive effort. I mean, it looks more like the Alabama defenses that we've come to know in the past few years. 0 of 7 on third down for Missouri. Just never got anything going. Only 100 yards of total offense. So I like what they've been able to do to suffocate that offense, albeit some of the first half without their quarterback, Brady Cook, out there.
Yeah, 0 of 5 for Alabama, conversely, on third down. So not great third down play for either team. But I love seeing Jalen Milroe be involved in the run game. He's 9 of 41. He's got the rushing touchdown. That has to be a catalyst for Alabama. That's something that's been missing, only 11 yards rushing in the last game against Tennessee. And so Milroe has to be a threat running the football. He hasn't been. And then there is some concern for me, honestly, with the offensive line for Alabama. Look, they give up two sacks on each side. Both tackles kind of give up one, and so that's something that needs to be shored up as well as the game moves forward.
Seeing the recipe, and you and I talked about it heading into this week's game, though, teams are blitzing Jalen Milroe a lot more. So 59% of the first half dropbacks, Missouri's defense was bringing pressure in an effort to try to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Yeah, and he's making it pay a little bit with his ability to escape pressure and make the runs and make the throws when he needs to. Again, 12 of 17 in the first half for Jalen Milroe. All right, lots more still ahead, including getting you set for LSU Texas A&M tonight. Meanwhile, Diego Pavia with a phenomenal play to start the scoring, but it's been all horns since.
This halftime report is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Welcome back to the Auto Owners Insurance halftime report. Dari Doring and Watson. Oklahoma on the road to face Ole Miss. Second ever meeting between these two. The 1999 Independence Bowl, the only other one. Rebels won on a late field goal. Meanwhile, Jackson Arnold, the floater to his tight end, Bauer Sharp in Oklahoma in a 7-7 game. They have been miserable on offense. They had a good first drive, and then how about Jackson Arnold making it great?
He made Brent Venables look tremendously smart by putting him back in, having trust. I thought he did a great job with his legs today. He bought time. He scrambled when he needed to. The offensive game plan in the first half for OU was right on point.
That was to Jacob Jordan. And then Jackson Dart finds Caden Prescore, an easy pitch and catch. Missed the extra point to the Rebels. They're up 16-14. First and goal, Lane Kiffin. Watch J.J. Pegues. He loves to use his big defensive tackle in that formation.
He was down. He was down. Don't worry.
He looked like he might want to play tailback at the next level.
Yeah, it was a good cut. He had a good cut.
They called that a touchdown.
What? It did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, ball came out, but he was down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got you. Yes, yeah. And then how about Pegues with a second sack? 9 sacks for the Rebels. Second straight week.
How many have they given up on the year?
Give up 9 sacks.
38?
38 on the year.
Total.
School record's 41 allowed. They'll blow past that. Oh, my goodness, Taylon Green.
Ooh. Ankles.
Oh, my goodness, Taylon Green. It's just getting started. The Arkansas quarterback had a career day. That was his lone rushing touchdown. That's okay. He threw for plenty. Meanwhile, Michael Van Buren to Devon Booth. Booth goes 54 to the house, so a quick response from Jeff Levy's team, who's trying to break a 6-game losing streak. Early second, Taylon Green to Jordan Anthony. This throw is perfect.
That throw was money. He kept the ball away from the middle of the field with safety. Great job by Anthony, the receiver, staying skinny in that seam, CD.
Taylon Green, career high 5 passing touchdowns. And the touchdown run you saw. Look at him evading pressure. And again, find his receiver, Luke Haas. How about a 58 spot for the Razorbacks? 3rd game this season, over 600 yards of total offense. They didn't do it once a year ago. And for Green, he joins the late Ryan Mallett as the only players in Razorback history to throw for 5 touchdowns and run for another in a game. Mallett did it 14 years ago against UTEP. We have seen hints. We saw it early in the season about how good they could be, and they were that good again. Meanwhile, Quinn Ewers.
Catch of the week nominee.
You think? Mm-hmm. Matthew Golden, 21-10 Horns.
Thanks. Obviously, I think the team that wins this game vaults into the national spotlight as the front runner to win the SEC.
I mean, we're aggressive. The mentality we play, I mean, we're looking to destroy somebody every single play. When we hit you, we're going to make sure you feel it.
Yeah, I think we got to be physical. We got to control the line of scrimmage. I think they've really developed their pass rush as the year's gone on. And if you want to win these games in the SEC, you got to win in the trenches.
There's Le'Veon Moss. A&M just keeps rolling.
You know, you've got to be able to control the running game. When you control the line of scrimmage, you control a lot of aspects of the game.
We're just going to play our brand of football, A&M football. We're going to run the ball. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to make them stop us, which they won't. Everything in the SEC is riding on this game, night game, blackout. It's going to be unreal.
Oh, what a scene it's going to be at Kyle Field in Aggie Land. A series where the home team has won the last 7 games. These are your last 2 unbeatens in conference play. The winner will sit alone in first place at the end of the night in the SEC. All right, good matchup. LSU's offense, A&M's defense. How do you like how it shapes out?
I'm not going to lie. I was worried about LSU's offense after losing Jaden Daniels. Was Nussmeier going to be able to be the guy? And he's proven me totally wrong. He has been under control. He's been mature in the pocket. He's navigated the pocket. He's avoided pressure. Thrown for 18 touchdowns. He's taking total control of this offense. And I think that the receivers around him, guys like Lacey and Taylor, have really fed off of his energy, fed off of his ability and efficiency. So I like Nussmeier if I'm looking at this quarterback battle and also the offensive line.
Yeah, finally you talked about
the big guys. They have protected him, only giving up 2 sacks. But even within those 2 sacks, CD, part of that is Nussmeier's ability to avoid pressure when they get beat. They get beat sometimes. They got beat against Arkansas a couple times by Landon Jackson. He was able to move out of the way and deliver the ball downfield.
He does a great job of buying time when he got free rushers. He does a great job of dropping that arm angle down to avoid some of those rushers. And I think the rapport he has with his receivers is awesome. But they're going up against a little different defensive line today. I know you're big on these guys. So I think that's going to be the most interesting matchup, that LSU offensive line against that front for Texas A&M, who generates a lot of pressure with just rushing 4. And what does that do? That allows you to play more sound in the secondary. I have questions about the A&M secondary, but they really haven't been tested yet because of the how effective that pass rush has been. So I think if they can block him, Nussmeier has some chances to take advantage of that secondary.
All right, so flip this for a second here. When the Aggies have the ball, how much much do you trust Connor Wigman, Le'Veon Moss?
Have you heard about Weeksa on defense for LSU?
I've heard the name recently. I've heard that the defense has gotten better since his insertion into that starting.
Yes. What about Swinson doing a great job?
Right.
7 sacks on the season
sacks
as well.
for him.
What about Baker? He's
Baker,
doing, he's bringing a lot of pressure. You mentioned that run game, though. I think the run game of Le'Veon Moss is kind of what's going to pace them.
7:30 ABC. That's where you're going to get A&M and LSU. The big game in this league and maybe the biggest in all the country on this week, number 9. Meanwhile, how about DeAndre Moore? Just a drop in the bucket from Quinn Ewers. Horns up 11. Second half is next.
This halftime report is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Welcome back to SEC football presented by Sonic. And after a slow start, the Texas offense really got it going behind the play of Quinn Ewers, 19 of 21 in the first half. Diego Pavia, he's afraid the clock may have struck midnight. Vandy's got to reclaim some of this magic to get back in this game and look for its second top 5 win in program history. Tom Hartcole Kublik, we got Alyssa down on the sideline. Quarterback controversy was kind of thrown around after the Georgia game last week. None of it stuck, and a big reason is because Quinn Ewers may have just had the best half of his Longhorn career.
You see the efficiency in which he can operate, Tom, how he can get the ball out quickly to different receivers. He just has a better grasp of how to distribute the football in this offense. He can play point guard for Sark, and they got guys that can score from all over.
Diego Pavia has had a hard time hitting on the deep balls for this Vanderbilt team. Their third down conversion is not what they were against Alabama when they knocked off number 1.
Haven't been in as comfortable third down situations. A lot of that's been what Sark mentioned to Alyssa going into the half. Texas's first and second down defense being able to put Vandy in third and longs.
It was great talking to Clark Lee about the Alabama halftime message. He said, I didn't have to say a single thing. They were plenty amped up. And on the return out to the 22-yard line, Alyssa went into the Vanderbilt locker room at this halftime. What did you see and hear?
Yeah, Coach Lee allowed me to listen in from start to finish. I observed offensive guys going over to defensive guys, getting the energy up, which wasn't necessarily how halftime started. I watched some offensive linemen say, why am I the only one talking right now? And then the energy blew through the roof. Coach Lee said, if we want to win this game, it's going to come down to the third quarter. We have to have a big offensive possession here. We've settled in. Remember your identity. He said, if this comes down to a close game, which it will, I'm betting on your identity every single time. Diego made physical and vocal contact with every single player coming out of that locker room, guys. They're ready to win this one.
Clark told us yesterday that belief is their identity, and so they look to lean into that. And on first down, Pavia with the handoff to Cedric Alexander, an Austin native who's got plenty of buddies on the opposite side in burnt orange. And leaves 2nd and 7 for Diego Pavia, who came out of Volcano Vista High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Unheralded, unrecruited. He slid into the DMs of every coach he could find to try and beg for a spot on their team. He ended up playing junior college football. And then Jerry Kill and Tim Beck found him while watching a JUCO National Championship game and brought him to New Mexico State. Nothing doing on that run. They lose a yard. Jermaine Lole with the stop, and if Vanderbilt's going to find any momentum here on the first possession of the second half, they got to convert a difficult 3rd and 8. They're only 2 of 5 today, and against Bama, they barely missed.
Give that Texas defensive line a lot of credit, playing some gap replace up front, making running the football difficult for Vanderbilt. This is not where Diego Pavia and company want to live.
Stowers has been his leading receiver. I don't think he's even on the field right now. Pavia trying to set up a screen. Alexander got caught up with his right guard, Stephen Hubbard. And Vandy goes 3 and out. They didn't have a 3 and out in the Alabama game or the Kentucky game. Back-to-back SEC wins without trailing.
Actually had the screen set up pretty nicely. Pavia attracts some attention, and you mentioned it, Tom, just Cedric Alexander getting his legs tied up with left guard Stephen Hubbard.
That was actually Castillo. Pardon me. That was Castillo that was out there. You saw some room out in front.
A lot of room, a lot of green there. That screen could have gone for big yardage.
Fair catch asked for and taken at the 28-yard line. Now it's time for kind of a big deal. Brought to you by Old Trapper. Quinn Ewers was kind of a big deal when he showed up on campus, and he was as efficient as it gets in the first half. 19 of 21, including 17 straight completions.
Those are his 3 touchdown passes. You see how comfortable he is just distributing the football different ways down the field. The quick out on 4th down for a touchdown. Not sure about the dance move late, but
stole it from us.
You like them?
4th career game with 3 passing touchdowns in the first half for Ewers. This Texas team keeps operating like this. They'll be 2-stepping on the table. No need for a dance floor. Wisner finds a huge gap on the left side, and he's able to pick up a first down. This is how Texas established its dominance early.
That's a nice job by Hayden Connor, 76. You're going to get a gap scheme run, so you'll block back and you'll pull around. And this offensive line been doing an excellent job of just getting out in space. You see Hayden Connor there out front with a nice block, leading the way.
Ewers hit as he throws, finds Wisner at a great receiving game against Georgia, and he high steps down the sideline to midfield for the first down. It's a pickup of 12.
One of the things the defensive front was talking about at halftime, guys, as well as the coaches, was how good of a job they did in the first half stopping the run. They kept harping on 39 rushing yards. Continue to do what you're doing up front as Texas starts to move the ball here.
Their first possession of the game ended with a tip pass and a pick, and now Hayden Connor, the left guard.
False start. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, it's just your typical false start. What do you make of Texas's offensive line as a whole this season? How do you judge them?
I think they've been solid. I expected a little bit more of them. They haven't been given the opportunity, Tom, to really be a downhill run group just yet, with a lot of the quick ball distribution in the east-west runs.
Sark's had a 1,000-yard rusher again last year, and every year underneath him. And now Wisner with the run. He's over 400 yards now on the season. 12 consecutive years with a 1,000-yard rusher for Steve Sarkisian coach teams, and Vanderbilt comes up big. It's Utara, junior out of Cologne, Germany, who growing up was a swimmer, tennis player, and a rower. You'd like to see that guy in crew.
He played 6 football games before he came to college.
6
in his life.
And more regattas than football games.
How intimidating can you be rowing, though?
I bet the coxswain was not comfortable screaming at him. Timeout taken. Vanderbilt stops it with 3rd and 7 forthcoming for Texas. If Clark Lee's team wants to climb back in, they need to force a 3rd and out with Texas in Vandy territory. Music City, one of the best sports destinations in the entire country, hosting a top 25 showdown today. And U.S. women's national soccer team taking on Iceland tomorrow night. It's a busy weekend, and this is going to be the easiest Where's Waldo you've ever played, because it's Where's Waldo's amongst the burnt orange.
Found them.
Yep. See you guys at Tootsie's later. Please change your outfits. Huge hole for Wisner, and he takes it further into Vandy territory as Texas converts the 3rd down on a 20-yard one by Quintravion Wisner.
Boy, just another gap scheme run. Again, you see big Hayden Connor, 76 point out front. So much space, Tom, that tight end Gunnar Helm doesn't even know who to block. He just sprints north and south.
Could have fit all the Waldos in that space. Play action. Ewers gets hit again. He finds Helm, and Helm gets taken down by the first man. Going back to the Alabama game, Vandy did a really good job tackling in space and not allowing a lot of yards after catch. It has been flipped on its ear today with Texas having a ton of success.
It has. I think one of the big differences, Texas has a little bit quicker ball distribution than that Alabama offense does.
Here's Wisner trying to go off tackle. And he's able to pick up a first down on a 2nd and 7.
You brought up earlier this offensive line, Tom. It feels like right now Steve Sarkisian giving them an opportunity to sort of lean on this Vanderbilt defense. Show us what you've got. If you want to be one of those groups that can take over a football game, can be dominant, this is it. Big gap scheme runs, blocking back, pulling around, trying to get out in space, trying to impose their will. I love Sark saying, he said, we're a unit that believes in large humans.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And he and Kyle Flood went out and signed 7 offensive linemen for year 2, and Ewers gets swamped. Brandon Fontenette was the first man there. Vandy brought the house.
2's just going to come from the outside, left side of your screen, and it's pull protection. The back or pulling guard has an opportunity to get outside, and there you see Fontenette just unblocked. Ball probably needs to get out, but Quintravious Wisner had the opportunity to sort of retract, get north and south, and maybe pick up the blitzer.
7 sacks by Georgia last week after Texas only allowed 6 on their way to a #1 and undefeated start to the season. First 6 games into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Good coverage on the back end by Martell Height to disrupt Ryan Wingo.
Trying to get Wingo on the corner route. That's an excellent football play by Martell Height, a player that Clark Lee describes as ascending. Said probably played a little bit before he was ready a year ago, but really beginning to come into his own here this season.
Texas 6 of 8 on 3rd down today. Ewers steps up, has all day, gets rid of it, incomplete, nearly picked, but it hit the turf. Ewers just kind of got caught in between, had to short arm that thing.
Not sure why he hesitated the first time, Tom, because he had that check down, like you said. Just go ahead and dump it out there to your running back, let him try to work a little bit.
So, opportunity for Burt Auburn. Well, right through Wisner's hands. This will be a 40-yard attempt for Auburn. 4-6 on the season. And that corrects to split the uprights. Texas and Steve Sarkisian sitting on a 24-10 lead near the 3rd quarter from Nashville. Well, our SEC field trip could have taken us to a lot of different spots here in Music City. We chose Hatch Show Print Shop right here in Nashville. It's been a working letterpress print shop since 1879. Prints still all handmade. They print between 500 to 700 posters annually. Some iconic music posters have come out of the Hatch Show Print Shop. Promoted everything from traveling carnivals, vaudeville acts, musical performances, Cole Kubelik's offensive line show, traveling road show. Probably get a poster soon. They got Casey Musgrave's All of the Colors poster up lately.
No football game posters?
Maybe some program covers back in the day. That everything they do is iconic. So we can send them a picture of us and have them print one, hang in your man cave.
Need that.
Short kickoff, chance for a return for Junior Sherrill. So we heard Alyssa's report from the Vandy locker room at halftime, and the question is, how does Diego Pavia find some momentum? Obviously, you got to pick up a first down to try and get it going, but he is a leader first and foremost. In fact, I was talking with Vanderbilt baseball coach Tim Corbin on the way into the stadium today, 2-time national champion, and he said Diego comes to my office at least once a week. And last week it was, I had an offensive lineman who jumped off sides and he was checked out for a good chunk of the game. How can I lead him better? How can I be a teammate where in the moment I can use my leadership skills to better this team? Well, this is a big moment. Down 14 here in the 3rd quarter. Pavia takes off on a QB draw and maybe finds one. Well, it's a big day for Tim Corbin. His former #1 overall pick. Dansby Swanson's in the building. J.J. Blade was also a 1st-round pick. He's here with his bachelor party. It's not just bachelorette parties in Nashville, Cole. Bachelor parties, too, if you're J.J. Blade.
Noted.
You think those guys had one of those pedal? There's Tim Corbin, two-time national title and former college football coach when he first started. Good friends with Bill Belichick. In town to watch his Commodores on a regular basis. 2nd and 9. Fake the jet sweep. Pavia looking for a blocker. He sees nothing but white shirts and gets pinballed over to the Vanderbilt sideline.
Good discipline from this Texas defense, Tom. One of the things that has not happened for the Vanderbilt offense today, the eyes haven't really been stolen from this Longhorn defense. They've kept contained. They've played flat down the line of scrimmage. They've let a lot of what this Vanderbilt offense is doing come to them instead of attacking, over pursuing, getting out of position for plays like that where Pavia decides to keep and run.
Average third down distance to gain 7.1. Not a recipe for success for this Vanderbilt offense. Stowers shuffles. Looking for a screen. An incomplete pass broken up on the back end. Skinner, the intended receiver. And what a play by this Texas defense, playing a man short on the back end. And so Cody Black comes up with a big hit.
You're going to see quick protection. Offensive lineman going to go down, low, cut block, try to get the hands down of those defenders. And then Kobe Black, a nice job just attacking the football on the slant. Not sure that ball is going to be hauled in anyway. Looked like Black maybe initially knocked it out, but
another 3 and out. What a beautiful punt this time by Jesse Murko. It drives Bolden back inside the 10 and through traffic. Bolden ends up making something out of it, a 59-yard punt, and he made hot chicken out of that one. 18 on the return. So midway through the third quarter, Quinn Ewers and company. And what an outing for Ewers. 21 and 25.
On top of that, Tom, to think about the fact that he started out with an interception, ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, and you kind of wondered, okay, what kind of day is this going to be for Quinn Ewers? And then backs it up by almost not missing the rest of the afternoon.
And they run it off the left side. We're talking with Clark Lee, whose staff is big into the analytics, and they crunched some very simple numbers when it came to Texas. And number one, it was about trying to stop the run, but it's also about trying to slow down this offense overall. And Steve Sarkisian's team, when they scored 28 or more, 28 and 6. A losing record when they don't get to that point, and using those stats to illustrate to his team, we can make this Texas team human. They're 5th in the country. When things go well, yeah, they can be unbeatable. But if we can get in the way and slow down the run game, we can keep them off the scoreboard. Pressure, tipped, and intercepted. Vandy with its second takeaway on the second tip pass from Ewers. And Pavia will have a short field. Miles Capers, who had a huge forced fumble on a quarterback sack at Bama, comes up with a pick.
You'll go play action here, going to come back, and then off the edge is where you'll get the tip pass from Brandon Fontenot right there. And then, as you called it, Tom, Miles Capers, the diving interception, left the Kentucky game due to injury a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
he
got carted
is
off.
now back.
He was questionable coming into this one with a neck injury carryover from that Kentucky game. He ended up in the hospital in the middle of the game. We were lined up to go the wrong direction, and good thing they got that straightened out. I don't think I've ever seen that in a Division I college football game. From the 38-yard line. Pavia pulls it back. A pump looking for the go route, and that is well defended and incomplete. Quincy Skinner defended by Malik Muhammad. It's been a wild ride for the Pavia family. His brothers in from Albuquerque every game. There they are right in the middle. Easier to find them on Where's Waldo. No shirt, a big chain, a cowboy hat, and shades. They have been wearing out Lower Broadway. One brother's a firefighter. The other is a botanist. Mom had a tough trip for the Ball State game. Their flight was delayed. They got in late. Lights were out when they got to Diego's house. She didn't want to bother anybody. She tripped down the stairs and broke her arm. A win would help her feel better. Pavia keeps it straight ahead. Baron Sorrell with the stop. Little sister's going to be a Lobo, play for the hometown school. That's a school in New Mexico that never recruited Pavia. And he took that and all the other naysayers and plays with a big chip on his shoulder.
Loved when you asked him what he thought about that. He said, well, he didn't want to win.
Shirt's optional for the Pavia brothers. Third and 7 to the slant. Whoa, what a hit. Incomplete. Jade Barron just absolutely wrapped up Loic Funjo. This did not look like much fun.
Slant maybe becoming a little bit too much of a go-to for this Vanderbilt offense here late. Jade Barron gets a nice jump on the football, dislodges it.
They're going to keep the offense on the field. A must convert, 4th and 7. Be a 52-yard field goal attempt. They can make it from there, but can't catch up with 3s. They need 7s. 5.5 to play, third quarter. 5-man rush delayed. Pavia goes down the sideline. It is incomplete. A lot of hand fighting, and here's the flag on Muhammad. It's one happy botanist.
Pass interference, defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So you want to go back shoulder and obviously need the defender in phase to locate the football first. That never happens. So Malik Muhammad going to draw the foul. A lot of hand fighting, a lot of hand work, but have to locate that football to try and make a play on it defensively, which Muhammad doesn't do. Not a bad idea there from Tim Beck to give your receiver a chance to make that play down the field.
Muhammad, preseason second team All-SEC. Play clock at 4. Play action. O-line holds up, and he's able to find his receiver for a first down. Cole Spence, with his first catch of the game, has Vandy set up with a 1st and goal at the 8.
Spence leaks out just a little bit late once he sees Diego Pavia rolling to his right. One of Pavia's favorite targets. Told us yesterday he's an NFL tight end, man. And Spence does a lot of the dirty work. You'll see him in line, blocking, helping out in the run game, out in screens in the open field. But he's pretty dangerous when he catches the football as well. Got good hands.
Again with the inverted wishbone for Vanderbilt. Usually they motion out of this. They won't this time. Pavia keeps it. Can't find in much space. Picks up 2.5 hard-earned yards before Jermaine Lole brings him down.
Middle of the Texas defense has been solid this afternoon. A lot of times you'll see Vanderbilt's offense, they'll get that north-south run game going. Either Pavia with that fake, he'll keep it, and he'll go between the guard and center. Or a lot of times Cedric Alexander, 28, tailback, he'll get going north and south. Vanderbilt has not had that option today.
Pavia with a check. Keeps it again. Anthony Hill with the stop.
Just a great read from zero. Anthony Hill, who is the attitude on this Texas defense. Steve Sarkisian said he's the one when they kind of challenged the defense to be a little bit different this year. He took it personal. Said he's not the kind of guy that you'd be friends with a lot of times with his demeanor on the football field, but we needed that. We needed that edge on that side of the ball.
3rd and goal, likely 4-down territory. They've already converted 1 4th down on this drive. It's Stowers in the backfield with Pavia. Now he'll motion out. Pavia's run it each of the last 2 options. Looking to throw to Stowers. It is incomplete. Broken up by Michael Taft.
And Pavia locked on. Eli Stowers knew where he wanted to deliver the football. Throw might have been just a tad behind, but pretty good coverage by Michael Taft. Anthony Hill over there helping out to double just a little bit, trying to take away some of that passing lane.
Yeah, it was a tight window. See what they got on 4th down, 4th and goal.
I want to get Diego Pavia on the move here, Tom. Give him the option to either throw to the sideline or tuck the football and be able to run it in.
He's already got 1 rushing touchdown in this game on their opening possession. He rolls, looking backside, fires. Caught! A Vanderbilt touchdown. Somehow Pavia threads the needle. Junior Sherrill ends up with the football, and the Commodores cash in on 4th down. There is still life on the west end. Sherrill had a touchdown against #1 Alabama. And it caps an 8-play, 38-yard drive. Once again, Vandy scoring on the short field thanks to the tip pass and the pick. They confirmed it upstairs. Here's Brock Taylor. Well, Texas has had its way with Vanderbilt with its athleticism and speed, but there's no accounting for the heart and soul of Diego Pavia.
Tom, watch the angle on this pass. Cedric Alexander goes physical, block right away. I don't know how he fits that football in right there, but Pavia finds a way to thread multiple needles. What a catch by Junior Sherrill, tipping the ball to himself. Tim Beck, I think he's happy.
Does Vandy have another shocker in them? Down by a touchdown. 3:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Before this season, they had never beaten a top 5 team. And all they did was knock off #1 Alabama here in this stadium. And now the Commodores fans are believing. SEC shorts might need to re-rack their video from Monday. Here's how Vandy got back in this game off a tipped pass and an interception by 2 guys who played a key role in the Bama game, Brandon Fontenette and Miles Capers.
Just great awareness, understanding that the quick throw's probably coming, and how about that snag from Junior Sherrill to be able to just reach out, fingertip that thing back into himself, make the catch. I have no idea how Pavia got that football through all those defenders, and the Pavia family loved it.
Both the botanist and the firefighter. Quinn Ewers has been efficient today. They keep it on the ground, and Vandy blows it up. It goes backwards for 1.5 yards. Vandy has 2 touchdowns tonight. Each of them have come after a Quinn Ewers tipped pass interception. 14 points off turnovers. Both teams have turned it over twice. Texas has not been able to take advantage.
Great job, Corday Snyder, 96 from that Vanderbilt defense, getting upfield, forcing that run to cut back inside, allowing his teammates to come make the stop in the backfield.
Jadon Blue is the running back for the Longhorns. 2nd and 12. Ewers waits. Now he gets rid of it. And the extra time gave DeAndre Moore time to get free. Texas fans outnumber Vandy fans in the building today, but Vandy's going to get loud. This is a 3rd and 6 for the Longhorns. Ewers out of the shotgun. Pocket hold, delivers on time, and the stretch will be good enough for a 1st down by Ryan Wingo. Texas won a hot recruiting battle for Wingo with Missouri, and they got the former St. Louis University high star to come to Austin.
Just a quick out, a lot of cushion, giving up inside leverage. Wingo takes advantage.
Back to the running game, and Jadon Blue.
I'll tell you, Tom, something that Steve Sarkisian's done an excellent job of tonight, utilizing that tempo. They haven't just leaned on it for large portions of the game, but almost every time he's gone to it, that Vanderbilt defense isn't set.
What did Sark tell us yesterday when we're talking about mixing things up? Listen, if you're a major league pitcher and you got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, you can't only throw a fastball. You got to be able to change it up. If you don't, Freddie Freeman's going to hit a walk-off granny. 2nd and 4 for Ewers. Little play action. Swings it out to Blue. And Blue picks up the first down. Catch and run has killed Vandy tonight.
You have to give Quinn Ewers a lot of credit. Some people look at these throws and say, oh, check down Charlie. These are easy. These are just open. Nobody's covering them. It takes patience for a quarterback to get to these. Number one, offensive lines giving him good protection. And a lot of quarterbacks refuse to take them. Quinn Ewers is cashing those checks all day long today and making a profit.
250 passing yards for Texas, 214 of those yards after the catch. Weisner was bottled up, and he pops for a couple. Texas can take this to the 4th quarter if they want. Ewers will try to get a snap off. Vandy jumped, I believe. And they're getting anxious. And Nick Rinaldi, who had that huge sack early this half.
Defense, number 24. Entering in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Caused Kelvin Banks to move, and that will set up Texas with an opportunity here. 2nd and 2.
It's actually an excellent job by Kelvin Banks. He sees the defender come into the neutral zone, so he goes ahead and takes his pass set and hits the flag.
So we head to the 4th quarter in Nashville with everything on the line for Steve Sarkisian and Texas, looking to bounce back. With a win, they have the 4th best odds to make the playoff. With a loss, it drops to just 42%. 15 minutes to decide if Texas can survive.
12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
That's how I get by.
Okay. Nightfall in Nashville. Vanderbilt trailing by a touchdown, and Texas, after the penalty, looking at a 2nd and 2. Vandy only has 1 win against a top 5 team. Texas is 43-5 as a top 5 team. They get the 2. No! What a stop. Where's this mark going to be? It's going to be short and leave a 3rd and 1. C.J. Taylor with the stop.
C.J. Taylor comes down and just like an anchor goes down in front of the pulling guard. Stops that ball short. Excellent play from the safety spot.
When Ewers out of the pistol. Vandy's got 8 in the box. They try to run it to the outside. A stutter and a flag with a 1st down run, and a holding penalty is going to bring this one back.
Holding. Offense, number 8. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
Besides the 2 picks, the failed offensive drive for Texas came on holding penalties.
And here it's going to be Amari Niblack trying to get this run going to the outside. Watch when the defender attempts to detach right there. Niblack holds on and has the hands outside the framework. Official's going to get you every time on that one.
3rd down, 11. Four-man rush. Ewers gets taken down. A sack by Vanderbilt's Corday Sidner. 4th sack of the game for Vanderbilt.
Cam Williams got beat inside against Georgia a week ago, and you see just the inside spin move right side of your screen. Boy, that is lethal when you can not throttle down, Tom, and hit that spin move inside as fast as Snyder does. Difficult to get back inside and wall him up.
Martel Height back to receive this punt. Texas gave up 7 sacks last week, 4 tonight. Height, first 2 miss. Shakes the third and stumbles forward past the 35. 40-yard punt, 15 on the return. This building is under construction. The entire football program here at Vanderbilt is also under construction. And with limited capacity, it's less than 30,000. But I don't ever remember, after coming here for years and years, the amount of energy that they've gotten from their fan base here in 2 huge games this season.
No, they're feeling it, and they're excited about it. And this Vanderbilt football team has given them life, given them something to be excited about. Student section was lined up, what? Alyssa told us 3 hours before kick today?
So first down for Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, down a touchdown. And they run it straight ahead with Cedric Alexander. Now listen.
Guys, last week was the first week that Texas really faced some adversity on the field. Sark even told us yesterday, I'd been trying to create some adversity early in the season so these guys would be ready for it. But the amount of positive self-talk from the offense to the defense that's happening on the sidelines, this entire defensive front is sitting right in front of the Vanderbilt student section. And those students have been doing their best trash talking all day long. I've been watching them coach each other up, reminding each other how much confidence they have on that side of the football.
Now 2nd and 4. They don't go backwards. Should be a manageable 3rd down. Alexander says, forget about 3rd down. I'll pick it up myself. It's a Vanderbilt 1st down.
Now a little bit of success with that north-south run game, Tom. We had mentioned that it just had not been going for the Commodores today. You bring in 2 fullbacks, go with that little wing pistol formation. Gabe Fisher and company leading the way, gives you 1st down, and now a little bit of a tone being set by this Vanderbilt offense. Tim Beck loves to set things up, and that north-south run game will get a lot of things prepared for him on the table.
They have really upped the emphasis on the run game this season under Beck, whose offense set an all-division rushing record at Division II Pitt State in 04 when they won the national title. Pavia can't get through that wave of white. He only picks up 1. Alfred Collins, the first man there.
I'll tell you, from a 3-man front, Tom, Alfred Collins almost down in a 4-eye, so he's sort of inside shade of the offensive tackle. So you're not in a position to really have contain outside the tackle there. That's an outside run that bounces by Diego Pavia, and Collins able to use his hands, strike and shed, get outside and take over contain. That's just an excellent individual effort.
2nd and 9. Could be an option look here from Pavia. And he keeps it himself. Takes it past midfield.
So 11 minutes remaining. Tim Beck is not going to get greedy. He's going to stick with his offense, with his scheme. He's going to continue to try to pound that thing between the tackles. He wants those linebackers' attention to stay there. Then the play action is going to set itself up. You can sprint Diego Pavia out here, a big 3rd down where we haven't seen Eli Stowers be the target on a couple of 3rd downs. Be tough for me to imagine to get away from him on this one. This might be one of those Kansas City plays that Pavia has drawn up for him himself.
Inside receiver right there on the logo. Like Mahomes and Kelsey. Pavia fires out of the backfield, and Alexander forced out for no gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Commodores converted a pair of 4th downs on their last possession, but they're going to kick it away here.
The pressure from both sides of the pocket on Diego Pavia. Colin Simmons coming front side.
Jesse Mirko to punt this one away. You were telling me that Texas thinks they have an advantage because the lack of hang time coming from the Vandy kicking game.
Correct. Flat kicks, low kicks.
Timeout.
Timeout. Texas. It is their first.
Mirko got off a boomer last time. They need special teams to step up. Steve Sarkisian trying to get everybody right on one sideline. Clark Lee still chasing that dream on the other.
SEC Network Football is presented by the Sonic $1.99 menu. Live free, eat Sonic. And in part by T-Mobile 5G home internet. Get internet how you want it.
13th meeting between Vanderbilt and Texas. Going back to the 1920s, the last time they met. Bolden, kick catch interference coming. And that'll help him out just a little bit. After a 36-yard punt. Texas looking for its first ever win here in Nashville.
Kicking team, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
They are 0-4 all time.
Is that maybe the most surprising series history you've ever seen going into a game in your life?
It really is.
8-3-1 all time. Vanderbilt leads the series.
Texas hasn't lost back-to-back games since 21, and Vanderbilt only has one win against a top 5 opponent. First trip to the state of Tennessee for Texas since 1925. Thought he was bottled up. Instead, a few yards to the left side. We got a flag in the play. Only 2 teams have a winning record against the Longhorns, a minimum 10 games played. Notre Dame and Vanderbilt.
78.
Another
from the previous spot remains first down.
Another holding penalty. Last time Texas was here, their quarterback, do everything starts, stud right, mishandled a punt that Vandy took back for its first score. Wright came out due to injury. His backup dropped the snap on another punt for his safety. 8 points of special teams miscues were the difference in that one.
His name was Stud Wright?
Gotta be
the
good.
NLI opportunities he'd have.
Batted away. Fantastic denial by Trudell Berry.
Well, kind of easy for Vanderbilt to start sitting on the quick throws. We'll come back around. Berry just waiting on it. I don't really think that's on Bolden. Maybe you break that route off a little bit earlier, but these DBs going to sit on those routes, have to challenge them in different ways.
Remember, Ewers has been sacked 4 times, so if you want longer developing routes, they got to give him better protection. Steps up in the pocket, lets it go, and nobody is there. Overthrew Bolden that time by a good 15 yards.
I don't know, Tom, if that's just one where Quinn Ewers knew he was going to let it rip and just go ahead and throw it out there. Maybe Silas Bolden could find a way to run under it, but
third down 20. Vandy drops 8. Ewers hit as he throws, and catch and run for a first down by Silas Bolden. Great patience in the pocket by Quinn Ewers.
We got good barbecue in Nashville, Tom, but I'm going to show you a full slab right here, getting all the ribs in pass protection. Bah! Take them out, opens up some space from Quinn Ewers to step up in the pocket. Nice little sidearm delivery down the field to Silas Bolden for first down yardage.
Meanwhile, Miles Capers was in on the back end of that play, failed to get off the field. And with an injury timeout, Capers will be helped to the sideline. 9:16 remaining. Capers had a strip sack on Jalen Milroe. It really turned the tide in that game against Alabama. It was one that Vanderbilt never trailed in, but Alabama was playing with a lot of confidence and seemingly still in it until that sack of Milroe. That kicked off one of the wildest post-game celebrations. Included helicopter night vision goggles following the goalpost all the way into the Tennessee River.
Felt like I was watching an episode of Airwolf.
Weisner picks up a couple, yeah. Got my geography mixed up. That would be the Cumberland River. That would have been a heck of a drive to get it into the Tennessee River. 2nd and 9. Vandy brings 4. They push the pocket. Ewers stumbles. Steps up and fires, and will send that one to the sideline.
Probably not a bad idea to just go ahead and let that one sail into the stands. Thought he was going to get pressure early. Tom stumbles outside of the pocket and tries to regroup, but at that point, you got a couple Commodores breathing down. You just need to throw it away.
They already converted to 3rd and 20. This is 3rd and 9. Front four has been doing damage and denting that offensive line in the pocket. So if they do so again. Quick release and caught off the bobble, but short. It's DeAndre Moore. Now they say incomplete. No catch.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 4th down.
No catch. And 4th down with the clock stopped.
Please reset the game clock to 8 minutes and 17 seconds. Thank you. And the clock will start on the snap.
Michael Kern to punt it away. It's Martell Height standing at his 15 for Vandy. Whoa, Vandy almost got to it. Kern went down, but no flag, and the fair catch taken at the 16. A 40-yard punt in the face of pressure. Speaking of which, Diego Pavia facing pressure here. 8-10 and a lifetime to play for Pavia.
This is why a team keeps trying, working, even when they are 0-60 versus the top 5, even when they haven't beaten Bama since Reagan was president, even when their quarterback used to play at New Mexico Military Institute, because they know that one night, any night, could become the night.
It's a night that none of those who participated will ever forget, whether it be the fans who carried the goalposts down to the river, Diego Pavia himself. 4th quarter against Alabama, he was perfect. JFK was asked, why put a man on the moon? He said, why does Rice play Texas? You keep showing up and you try again. The only win against a top 5 opponent in Vanderbilt football history. Pavia trying to throw on the run, and he's able to fit it in for a catch to Junior Sherrill.
Nice job by Diego Pavia getting outside the pocket, a little sidearm delivery, and it should have been there, Tom. They're overloaded against the run. Texas went kind of an odd front there with linebackers walk down to the line of scrimmage, trying to take away that north-south run game that the last 2 drives has actually found a little bit of life for Vandy.
2nd and 6. The Commodores have a big one in their pocket, or are they just going to have to whittle away slowly? Again, the opposite way. And a beautiful catch made right near the marker by Eli Stowers. And they say 1st down. Jelani McDonald, the physical safety with the stop.
That may have been one that Diego Pavia showed us on the board yesterday. Said they wanted to bring Eli Stowers across, safety rotation, wouldn't be able to keep up. And they would have space to be able to fit the football into Eli Stowers. And as we said earlier, just becoming such a weapon for this Vanderbilt football team.
Welcome those of you watching on ABC right now. You tuned in when Vandy knocked off #1 Alabama, first top 5 win ever. And now Diego Pavia trying to orchestrate a 4th quarter comeback against #5 Texas. Pavia keeps it, and he's got some space, and this is what the Vanderbilt offense will do. The question remains, where do they find a big hitter off of all these basic plays?
Finally got a little bit of push inside. That Vanderbilt offensive line had not been able to get the interior defensive linemen pushed back. A little bit of movement there from center and 2 guards.
Tom Hart, Cole Kublik, Alyssa Lang. We were here a few weeks ago when Vandy stunned the college football world. Let's see if David's got another stone in his slingshot. 2nd and 5. Play action. Pavia chase. Slings it incomplete. A.J. Newberry nearly bailed him out, but Anthony Hill was in Diego Pavia's face from the jump.
There's no foul for intentional grounding.
No, Anthony Hill Jr. can line up outside. He's usually an off-the-ball linebacker, but he adds twitch to the outside. Pete Kwiatkowski told me we like to move him down to that Sam linebacker position at times. He can rush the passer, just has the speed to be able to do it, and he gives you linebacker wherewithal, and that time forcing Diego Pavia to get rid of that football quickly.
3rd down 5. Texas shows pressure. They back off. They bring 4. Pavia on the run against the grain. Alexander folded over. Will leave him with a 4th and 2. Vandy has converted a pair of 4th downs, including one for a touchdown. And to leave the offense on the field on a 4th and 2 with 5:40 and rolling. No brainer to go for it here.
You have 2 timeouts, 5:30 left, but with what Texas has done with Quinn Ewers in the quick game, I'm not surprised Clark Lee at least going to line up for it right here and see what they get.
Maybe they want him to jump. They will run it on 4th and 2. Pavia backpedaling, and he lobs it downfield for another Texas takeaway. Intercepted by the Longhorns. Pavia ran out of magic. Bianca LaFau with his first pick of the season. Baron Sorrell forced the errant throw.
Trying to get Pavia rolling to his left, immediately taken away by that Texas defense. And more pass rush from Trey Moore off the edge. You see 8 right there in his face. Pavia tries to redirect and just nothing home. Going for the jump ball backside. It wasn't there. Pavia just throwing a little bit of a Hail Mary there, trying to make something happen. Excellent job by the Texas defense.
Commodores had only turned it over twice coming into this game on the entire season. 3 turnovers tonight. Texas trying to cash in. Jalen Blue brought down by Patterson. There's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
The tight end, Gunnar Helm.
Gunnar Helm comes flat across the line of scrimmage. It's a split zone play. And his responsibility out there in man on the line of scrimmage just kind of got tangled up as the back goes past him. He's on the left side of your screen, coming right. He'll get tied up here. So the back's actually supposed to come inside, bounces outside.
That is a 3rd holding penalty in the 4th quarter against Texas. And the stretch play thrown for a loss. Jalen Blue had nowhere to go. It was Miles Capers with the stop. And now Vandy trying to flex with its defense.
Yeah, Capers setting the edge there. Excellent job forcing that run to spill towards out of bounds and plays it flat down the line of scrimmage. Capers showing up big tonight.
And field goal range for Bert Auburn is going to come into play. His long is 45. Now 2nd and 23. Vandy hasn't allowed a point off of a turnover all season. Second and 23. Ewers play action. Line holds well. Delivers on time. Ryan Wingo, the freshman, with the catch, and Texas not only looking at a 3rd and 9, but now back comfortably into field goal range for Auburn.
This is the cushion the Texas receivers had not had on the previous 2-3 drives. Quinn Ewers so comfortable coming out of the play action. Knows Wingo has that 2-3 yards of cushion. As soon as that comeback route hits, he turns, balls right in his face mask. Excellent execution from Quinn Ewers. Ryan Wingo, the freshman receiver.
Third and 9 for Texas. Blue, big hole. Jaden Blue picks up the 1st down, and he steps out of bounds inside the 5. First and goal, Texas, after a 23-yard run for number 23.
They're going to run the power play, Tom, and it's a great call. You're probably not expecting it. Watch the guard pull in the kick-out block right there. Gunnar Helm's going to follow behind. Helm almost doesn't even have anybody to block. There's DJ Campbell, the kick-out. Helm's downfield trying to find a black jersey to make contact with.
Hey, he threw a hip check. That works.
Excellent execution up front. It's a great call by Sark. You're probably not thinking, oh, power play on that down and distance. Got the look that he liked, and Ewers got it going.
Texas trying to put this one out of reach late. Blue bottled up. Loses a yard, maybe. They say got back to the line of scrimmage, and now second and goal left for Steve Sarkisian's team. They had a hard time running the football against Georgia last week. Sark told us, he said, we had missed assignments, and you can't afford to miss assignments against great coaching and great talent like Georgia has. Second and goal. Ewers throws up play action, and it's incomplete. Wanted to take a shot to DeAndre Moore, but Brandon Fontenette was all over him, and he's still all over him with the words.
Well, play action, trying to get that little slant right there in the middle. Quinn Ewers had pressure right in his face.
Now, what do you like third and goal?
Well, if you're going to get DeAndre Moore in the slot near side, some sort of a pick route, maybe bring him down to the bottom. Quinn Ewers has been excellent on the quick hitting plays to the perimeter.
They let the play clock get all the way down to 2 to 1 to 0 with the snap. Blue wrestled to the ground at the 5. Issa Wataha, another big stop. And it takes us to the 2-minute timeout, and Texas will settle for a field goal to make it a 2-score lead. This all set up when Diego Pavia seemingly ran out of magic and threw one up for grabs. It was grabbed indeed by Texas, and the Longhorns trying to hold on late in Nashville. Well, this is what's on the line for Texas. They only have one remaining ranked opponent on the schedule. That's A&M to close this season. And they got an 83% chance to make the college football playoff with the win, according to our all-state playoff predictor. 23-yard attempt for Bert Auburn, who has not missed inside 40 this season. So make it a 2-score lead, and back Vandy against the wall. A chip shot for Auburn. And he drills it. So the lead is 10 with 1:57 remaining. Vandy with a pair of timeouts left. And this Vandy team, hope and belief. Alyssa, what's their sideline feel like right now?
Tom, despite the 10-point deficit, there is a lot of belief on this Vanderbilt sideline, and there has been all season long. Certainly a lot of that comes from their quarterback, Diego Pavia, who makes contact with every single member of the offense before he heads back out on the field. He sits between his offensive line while he has the headset on, talking with Jerry Kill, talking with Tim Beck about what he's seeing and what he wants to run when he gets back out there. Clark Lee said earlier this week, if we don't lose those games to Missouri, if we don't lose those games to Georgia State, I don't know that we beat Alabama. And I don't know that we are here with the type of belief and the type of fight that this team has, having proven that they can find that success. It'll be a mountain for Diego Pavia to climb with that 10-point deficit, but there is a lot of belief down here that they can do it.
Clark Lee said, when we came into this season, we changed everything about the Vandy program. Every minute, every penny goes towards winning. And if this program is to evolve, I've got to evolve with it. Through the back of the end zone. And you also think, as well as Diego Pavia knows this playbook and all the permutations to it, that there's got to be something unconventional that they dial up on this possession, because they've had such a hard time finding chunk yardage against Texas.
Yeah, they're not a 2-minute offensive team. They're not really built for that. So Whether it's some sort of a hook and ladder, different player lined up in a different spot, you would have to think, like you said, Tom, find a different way to pick up a couple big gains and at least get one of those scores knocked out as quick as possible.
Alexander celebrated a birthday yesterday. He's his running back. Looking for a screen to him. Here he is. Got a blocker in front and got popped coming up the sideline. Ball came loose and went out of bounds as he was taken down.
Yeah, that was Anthony Hill Jr. He put the fist right on that football and punches it loose. Not going to make too much of a difference. Nice setup on the screen. Diego Pavia draws the rush, floats it over. There you see Hill, bam, right on the ball.
Forward, fumble out of bounds. The clock will start on my signal.
The longest play from line of scrimmage tonight for Vandy was that 18-yard touchdown scramble from Diego Pavia in the first quarter. 140 at the snap. Pressure up the middle. Pavia long throw to the perimeter. And Quincy Skinner out of bounds. Clock will stop 1:36.
Boy, it doesn't make a massive amount of difference with how this game's going right now, but Cedric Alexander stepping up in pass protection right there just shows you what he's all about. He's got Colin Simmons barreling down on him, and it doesn't not stand there and take him on. It's attack mode for Cedric Alexander in pass protection.
Out of the pistol, and they'll bring Alexander next to him. Four-man rush. Pavia rolls the pocket. Finds his man across the middle, and a first down for Junior Sherrill into Texas territory.
Vanderbilt's had a lot of success with this concept, sort of sprint out levels concept.
Offsides. Defense number 11 was in the neutral zone at the snap. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down. The clock will start on the snap.
Well, Texas continuing to commit penalties on both sides of the ball. Pavia escapes, throws on the run, another floater and another pick. There's a flag down, but a huge return for the Longhorns. Kobe Black down the sideline for a pick six if it stands. 69-yard return. 2 flags down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 45. Contact to the passer's head and neck area. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Again, Texas shoots themselves in the foot. It's Vernon Broughton.
And Pavia forced to step up here. Lets that football go. And there you see the shot to the face of Diego Pavia, which leads to the interception.
Well, that could have been targeting. Meanwhile, injured player on the far sideline for Texas. He just showed this replay in the building.
Play is under video review for a potential targeting foul.
Kobe Black is the injured Longhorn. They're going to review it. We'll let them take a look. We will take a break and clean up this mess. Does Vandy still have magic? Commodores and Diego Pavia catch a break after that shot. Back to Nashville in a moment.
Is disqualified.
It was just announced that targeting is upheld. Vernon Broughton is disqualified. Will have to miss the first half of the Florida game. This is a 15-yard penalty that would have occurred anyway. It takes off the interception thrown by Pavia due to the roughing the passer penalty. And Vanderbilt, after all that, got a free lengthy timeout with 1:14 to play, down 10. Diego Pavia 14 of 24 through the air tonight. 1 touchdown, but 2 picks. They'd only turned the ball over twice in their first 6 games. Pavia pressured and backpedaling, throws it incomplete. And he had all sorts of dudes in his face, including Ethan Burke.
Ethan Burke just turned loose, lined up over the offensive attack. You see him slant inside and just a whiff by right tackle Chase Mitchell.
1:10 remaining. Vandy obviously needs a score and an onside kick. And we'll get a stoppage of play coming from the Texas sideline. And I wonder if Steve Sarkisian was wondering that should have been grounding.
There's no foul on the play. It'll be second down.
No foul for grounding. I think to finish the thought from Daniel Gautreaux. Pavia rolls right. Still on the run. A fire's incomplete. There is also the thought here, if they can pick up some yardage to take the field goal now and to play for a tie, you're going to have to score twice anyway. But you got to get some yardage to do so. As much as we talked about Brock Taylor's big leg, he's already hit from 54. That was at the end of the half. Had a 57-yarder to close the half against Missouri. So this will be a 47-yarder from here. Play clock at 4. Pavia has all day. Launches. It is caught. First down, Vandy inside the 10. Junior Sherrill. 24-yard strike. 2 timeouts left. Under a minute to play. Diego Pavia strikes again. Clock rolling. Pavia gets the snap. Looks in zone. To the back corner. Incomplete.
Going back to that previous play, Tom, Texas going to sit back in coverage, give Junior Sherrill in zone, time to sit down in that space, go attack the football, drop the 2 defensive tackles in front of Diego Pavia. Also, you see Ethan Burke right there, so no immediate pass rush in the middle, allowing him to step up and deliver the dart.
50 seconds left in regulation. 2nd and goal, Vandy. Commodores need a miracle. Pavia to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Vandy and Eli Stowers. An 8-yard fastball from Pavia. And Vandy is a point after and an onside kick away from doing real damage to Texas college football playoff hopes. And so now Brock Taylor for the point after. Sophomore from a few hours east in Knoxville. Point after is good. We got a 3-point game, 46 seconds left. There's still belief with this Vanderbilt program. It starts with Pavia, and this throw ended with Stowers.
I had to know you were going to go to Eli Stowers. Good protection by the Vanderbilt offensive line. Pavia looks left to draw the attention. Squeezes it right in at the goal line. Eli Stowers holds on after contact. Clark Lee excited.
So we have seen some creative onside kicks this season. Kai Kroger of South Carolina had a drop kick onside kick a couple of weeks ago. 2013 was the last successful onside kick for Vandy. Came in a game at A&M. They're 0-7 since. Let's see who they sent out there to do it. Will Ferris will put the ball on a tee. Six to the right, 4 to the left. They will be turned if they can keep the miracle going. And up Ferris can come to the short side perhaps. Texas uses a timeout.
Timeout.
That would have been roughly a 4-on-4 onside kick.
Second, it will be 30 seconds.
As Vandy turned to the weak side. If that was your number 1 onside kick, now you might be pivoting to your second best.
Well, you saw Jeff Banks, special teams coach. There he is on your screen. First one who was out to talk to that return team as they tried to move over as Vanderbilt shifted directions that they were going to kick. I talked to him actually about the Georgia game last week, and his thoughts on an onside attempt there, potential of what he might get here tonight. Said that there's really hadn't been a lot to study, like you said, Tom. Haven't had a successful onside kick in a couple of years.
I bet Jerry Kill brought one from New Mexico State.
They got something up their sleeve, you know it. If you can bring an NIL GM, collective GM, you can probably bring an onside kick.
Again to the weak side, only 4 this side, no motion 2 over there. Got the hop, but it's right to Texas. And the Longhorns are going to escape as DeAndre Moore handles that one.
Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds. 45 seconds. Thank you.
What did we learn about Texas tonight that we didn't know from last Saturday night?
If you didn't know Quinn Ewers was your starter and your guy moving forward, you do now. I think you've also learned that the middle of that defense can be stout, can be something that they can lean on. I still don't know if we truly know a ton about this Texas secondary, because when you look at the passing offenses that they faced, hadn't been a lot of challenges, but they got a little something to them, able to bounce back from a tough loss to Georgia.
Concerns on the offensive line?
Maybe a little bit. Don't know how much of that is schematic, but you continue to lose some one-on-ones across the course of now 2 consecutive games that get your quarterback in trouble. You don't like to see that, especially with a quarterback that's lost time due to injury.
Victory formation for Steve Sarkisian and the Texas Longhorns. First meeting with Vandy since 1928. First time here since 99 years ago, 1925. Quinn Ewers had a magnificent first half. He was 19 of 21 and finished this game 27 of 37. Penalties gotten away for Texas, 108 yards in penalties. Clark Lee's team falls to 5-3 overall, now even money in conference play. Texas keeps its college football playoff hopes alive. In fact, after this win, they have the 4th best odds in college football to make it there. Clock strikes midnight for Diego Pavia. They just couldn't get any separation from the Texas defenders. Alyssa Lang is with Steve Sarkisian.
Coach, it was a battle. What were you telling your team before that onside kick?
Well, just stay composed. You know, we practice it all the time. You never know when those types of situations come up at the end of the game. I thought our guys showed great composure. They executed it beautifully. A nice job finishing out the ball game.
You told us yesterday how you challenged them to work through adversity. How did you see that at play tonight?
Well, it was a hard week, obviously. When you lose a game the way we did last week and to work yourself back, I thought our guys, again, showed a lot of grit. It was unfortunate. 2 tip balls, we gave them 2 short fields, and the game got close all of a sudden, but thought our guys played pretty well tonight.
You mentioned those tip balls. How did you see Quinn keep his composure and get this win tonight?
Well, I thought he showed great composure, and I really thought he played well. You know, sometimes you can't control balls getting tipped in the air, the right place at the right time for them, but at the end of the day, I thought he played really well, was efficient, got the ball to our playmakers when they needed it.
Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
So Steve Sarkisian in Texas still in the hunt for college football playoff berth. This 12-team playoff still in the hunt for an SEC championship. A logjam top of the standings with a big one coming tonight with LSU and A&M. Been a while since they came here. I would say that they're going to enjoy the trip to Nashville. The eyes of Texas on the Volunteer State for the first time in 99 years. Texas holds on for a 27-24 victory. The Longhorns overcome some of the mistakes, including a bevy of penalties, and they run the clock out on Diego Pavia and what had been a magical run for Vanderbilt. 27-24. Let's get to the studio. SEC Now, Dari, Chris, and Benjamin.